We welcome you to Grapevine Ford Field here on the campus of Grapevine Faith Christian School for tonight's varsity home opener. The Grapevine Faith Lions host the Brook Hill Guard. This is Steve Anthony. Joining me here in a few minutes will be my broadcast partner, Jack Wharton. We're excited to bring you our first varsity broadcast of the season, and had a chance to talk with both coaches this week. And first up, our talk with Coach Scott Ryle.
We always appreciate an opportunity to visit with the coach for the Lions' opponent for their first game this season. This is Scott Ryle, head coach of the Brook Hill Guard. Coach Ryle, I know these are busy days for you, but we really appreciate the time. Thanks for joining us.
Thanks for having me.
You bet. So I've had the chance to interview you for a few years in a row now, but for those that don't know you, let's start with the important stuff. Tell us about your family, your wife, Stephanie, and your two boys.
Yes, married to my wife, Stephanie. I think this is year 21 now. I've been with her for about 25 years, so she's been through it all. And I have two sons, Cameron, who's actually 11th grade. It's hard to believe that he's and he's currently the backup quarterback. He plays a little safety. And Zachary is my tall son. He's 6'3" plus as an 8th grader.
Wow.
He is about 4 inches on his older brother.
And probably never lets him forget it either, does he?
Never.
Well, Coach Ryle's an Army veteran. He served 2 tours of duty in Iraq. He was a recon leader during Iraqi freedom and enduring freedom. So as a military dad myself, Coach, I want to again say thank you so much for your service to our great country. Really appreciate it.
Yeah, same to you. It's my honor.
Coach, you've been in coaching for some 25 years now, and if I did my math right, you're starting your 8th season at Brook Hill. Is that correct?
Yeah, it's hard to believe. I've been at Brook Hill for 8 years.
That's amazing. Well, I'm just curious, over the years, do you find that the same approach, the same off-season plan, the same cadence of things works pretty well, or do you tweak things over time depending on your personnel or the situation?
I think you always have to adapt and change a little bit, and just hear the input from your assistants. We were very fortunate. I've had great coaches here, but this year I was able to hire two great coaches. One is Nick Harrison. He's been the head football coach and athletic director out here at West Rusk, which is a public school. His kids always went to Brook Hill, and he goes, "I want to be where my kids at." So he brings out a lot of knowledge. And then I also hired Kyle Copeland, who was the offensive coordinator at Legacy High School, which is a 6A school here, and he wanted to be at Brook Hill. So leaning on them, leaning on my current staff, I think in the offseason, you got to make adjustments and learn from each other.
That's great. Well, speaking of personnel, I remember last year talking about the draw of international students to Brook Hill, literally from all over the globe. What has that diversity added to your program?
Well, obviously we are both Grapevine Faith and Brook Hill are faith-based, Christian-based. And, our founder, Steve DeMint, wanted to share the gospel to the world. And that's why we have those international students. So it's a great opportunity. It's also a great challenge. Those kids obviously don't come in Texas shape. We're actually dealing with a couple of kids that are struggling with the heat a little bit because they're from the Nordic countries that the hottest it gets is 70 degrees in the summer. This will be the first year we've had a lot more Latin American countries. And those kids are used to the heat at least. But it's a great opportunity, and it's fun, especially for my new coaches, to learn that you got to teach and coach a little different and catch kids up really, really fast.
Sure. Well, this is a program that's gone to the playoffs the past 5 years in a row. We know that one of the stalwarts of your offense is senior quarterback Jonah McCowan, son of former NFL quarterback Luke McCowan. I have to believe he's going to play a huge part in your success this year. Yeah,
obviously we got to have great play out of Jonah, and he's put on 20 pounds, throws the ball a little faster now, has a couple of Division I offers. I'm excited for him, and but we have a great cast to support him. So he's a great asset, and having a year of experience in our program. He joined our school last year, so a huge learning curve in the early season last year, and he's really put a lot of work in. I'm really proud how he's come along.
Well, another big weapon you have is Colton Richards, who can do a lot of things all over the field. He's kind of a utility guy. Right. What are your expectations for him this year?
He's been a great utility man, Swiss Army knife, as we like to talk about. And so, last year he was playing outside linebacker and receiver, and you might see him at DB a little bit this year. But his experience and just his knowledge of the game is a huge asset to our team on both sides of the ball for sure.
Well, let's turn our attention to the Lions. They have first-year head coach Bobby Holland trying to get his first win, and you guys are looking for a little revenge from last year's loss at home. What should we expect tonight from this matchup?
Well, obviously, they have some great players at Faith, and I know I forget the quarterback or the receiver's moving to quarterback. He looks pretty quick. Yeah, he looks like a great athlete. So obviously, Faith has a great tradition of winning, and we know that they're going to be really, really fast, and we better be ready to play.
Well, even though it's a non-district game, I know both teams use this first game as a springboard for the rest of the season, so it still has meaning. Coach, good luck the rest of the season, and thank you so much for taking time for me. We really appreciate it.
Thank you. Appreciate it.
That's Brook Hill Guard coach Scott Rowell right here on the Grapevine Faith Sports Network.
That was Brook Hill Guard coach Scott Rowell. Had a good visit with him earlier this week, and obviously had a chance to talk to first-year head coach Bobby Holland. So we'll bring that to you now. Looking forward to his first game, and hopefully the Lions can pull out a win. But go to the Bobby Holland Show here shortly. Appreciate you joining us tonight here on the broadcast. We'll give you some numbers out. Would love to know where you're listening from, you're tuning in from, whether it's on Mixler or YouTube. We are streaming live on the Grapevine Faith YouTube channel and streaming live on the Mixler app. Free, both of those are free broadcasts. So here comes the Bobby Holland Show. It's a new season of Grapevine Faith, and that means it's a first opportunity to visit with new head coach Bobby Holland on the first edition of the Bobby Holland Show. So, Coach, I know those are busy days right now. We're prepping for the first home game. We really appreciate your time. Thanks for coming out.
Thank you.
You bet.
Happy to be here.
Well, let's start off with the important stuff first, right? Talk about it's a new season of Grapevine Faith, and that means it's a first opportunity to visit with new head coach Bobby Holland on the first edition of the Bobby Holland Show. So, Coach, I know those are busy days right now. We're prepping for the first home game. We really appreciate your time. Thanks for coming out.
Thank you.
You bet.
Happy to be here.
Well, let's start off with the important stuff first, right? Talk about your precious wife, Lorraine, your 3 kids. Tell us about the Holland family.
Well, we've been married for 15 years. Our 15th anniversary was this summer. My oldest daughter, Birdie, she's in 7th grade, Robert's in 4th grade, and then Benjamin's in 1st grade. And they're all now enrolled at Grapevine Faith and really liking it. And today was the first day that all 3 of my kids have been present for school. We've kind of been sick. So that's kind of gone through our house, but now I think we're good to go, hopefully, for the rest of the season.
Well, that's good. So, I try to do my homework, everybody that I interview, and I was saying that earlier that you kind of fly below the radar. I couldn't dig up a whole lot of stuff on you. So tell us about your coaching journey. I know you were at one point right down the road at Grapevine High, and then most recently at Highland Park. So tell us about kind of your coaching journey and how you got to here.
Sure. So I played in high school at Highland Park, and then I went and played at UT, graduated, and I was an accountant for 3 years. I was an auditor at Deloitte & Touche, and I felt called by the Lord to become a coach. So I contacted my high school coach, who was then the head coach at Rockwall, and that's where I began my career for 5 years. I was a Rockwall Yellow Jacket. Then I moved closer to Dallas, and I worked for 5 years at Lake Highlands. That's where I worked with Coach Ware, and we became friends. After 5 years there, I came out to Grapevine. The guy that was the defensive coordinator at Rockwall when I was there, his name's Mike Alexander. He became the head coach at Grapevine and brought me out there with him. And that's when I moved my family to this area, and we've really loved it. I spent the year before I came here, I went back to my alma mater at Highland Park and coached there for 1 season. And now I'm here and really happy to be here.
Well, we're glad you're here. I know that X's and O's are an important part. I mean, it's your job, but I also know that leading godly men and their relationship with Christ is also paramount to you and what you're doing. So tell us about your faith journey, if you would.
Sure. I grew up in a family of believers. My parents became Christians about a year before I was born, and my mom led Vacation Bible School and Sunday school, and so I grew up really loving Bible stories and loving God. And then in 6th grade, when I joined our church, kind of the theological side and understanding the weight of sin, how to, God's dying on the cross, or Jesus is dying on the cross, and what grace means, that it's not by works, that it's by faith,
sure.
And that the work was accomplished by Christ for us, not by what we bring to the table. That's around 6th grade is when I really kind of had an understanding of the theology of sanctification and salvation. So, and I guess I've been a believer ever since. So.
Awesome. Well, you're in your first head coaching job, so let's talk a bit about that. How do you go about putting together your own program? And I'm sure you probably draw on some experiences from your past coaches and so forth, the guys that you studied under. But how do you kind of set up your own program and build your own culture?
Sure. I've been able to work for some really good coaches, and so I've for sure taken some of their ideas on how to run a program. But then you also need to I have to make sure that it's my personality is present. Everybody has their own way of doing things, and you can learn stuff from those ways, but it's got to fit my personality, and then it's got to fit the local context of, this might work at one school, but it might not work here at Grapevine Faith, or this would be a bad idea there, but it's a great idea here. So as I've gotten to know the players and the community more, I feel more comfortable implementing some of those ideas, borrowing some ideas, coming up with some ideas on my own. I know our assistant coaches have some really good ideas that I lean on. Guys like Coach Topping that have been here for a long time have some ideas of things that have been done historically and traditionally in the past that we want to honor. Coach Ware has some really great ideas from his time as a head coach. So it's kind of a mixture of all of that.
And is that sometimes based on the talent and the personnel that you have at that school? Like you said, some things may work here but may not work there. Is it primarily around what skill sets and what personnel you have?
Well, I think every year you may be particularly skilled physically in different areas, but you want to have one constant culture that from year to year players understand this is who we are at Grapevine Faith, this is how we do things. We don't just say we are Grapevine Faith. When they say we are Grapevine Faith, they know what that means, how we respond to adversity, how we practice, how we train, how we talk to each other and encourage each other. And so I want to build an identity of what it really means to be a faith lion.
Right. Awesome.
And that's something that should be, in my opinion, should be consistent year to year.
Absolutely.
That doesn't change based on your talent level from year to year.
Sure. Well, Faith's quarterback for the last 3 years, Chase Cross, graduated, and you've put a very skilled, talented player in Clayton Sebecki in that quarterback role. So he's taken on some additional responsibilities that he's not normally played in the past. He's also playing on the defensive side of the ball as a defensive back. So there's a lot on his shoulders. Talk about Clayton and kind of what your expectations are of him this year.
My expectations are really high for him because he's a great athlete, but he's also such a great competitor. I learned something about him when we did our retreat out to the Cosby's Ranch. When we put the kids in different competitions, Clayton was ferocious about it. When it comes to whether they were playing 3-on-3 basketball or pickleball or flipping cups and bouncing ping pongs and doing trivia, he was really willing his team to win. He really wanted to win. And I think he was undefeated through all of those games. And so that desire to be great, that desire to succeed, is going to make him successful, I think, in anything he does. No matter what position he plays, no matter what career he does in life, when he's got, whatever it is, he's got it. If you got to ask what it is, you ain't got it. Clayton has it. He's driven. I think the way that Coach Ware structures practice, he gets a lot of reps, he gets a lot of throws, and from when he began throwing the ball back in June with 7-on-7 to where he is now, he's made tremendous improvement. And so he's really starting, he gets better every day. And I'm really excited to see what he can do at quarterback.
That's been fun to watch this year, no doubt. So you've got some returners coming back. I think of a big offensive line: Max Martin, Michael Offord, Hayden Joe, Trevor Williams, Austin Bowling. But you're also relying on some younger players to come in as well. So talk about kind of the maturing of not only the returners, but also some of these new guys coming in this year.
Yeah, it's one of the funnest things about being a high school football coach is seeing which guys every year. It's inevitable someone is going to come out of nowhere and surprise you with the way that they step up. So we've had some underclassmen. I think up front, someone that comes to mind is Ryan Purdue. I remember when we were back at Midwestern State, I kept saying, "Hey, who's that guy making a nice block?" That's Purdue, coach. "Hey, who was that guy that just reached that defensive end?" That was Purdue again. And then on defense, "Hey, who's that 4-eye getting into the backfield and making a tackle?" That was Purdue, coach. I said, Ryan Purdue every time I ask who is that guy, it's Ryan Purdue. So that's been really great. And then we're really excited about our class of freshman linemen. That's a really strong group of big men, and we've got really high hopes for them in the future, and for some of them this year. And bringing on Coach Musig and him partnering with Coach Dickert, you've got two guys that are just great guys. The kids love being around them. It makes coming to practice a joy, and then they're very good at teaching the fundamentals. And so they just keep on getting better. And that's really exciting for me.
That's fun to watch. Well, I know one of Clayton's big targets this year is senior Ben Wagner, and if there's a faster receiver or person on the field in the district, I'd love to know who it is, but I know you've got high expectations for Ben this year as well.
Yeah, Ben's an amazing athlete. I mean, his vertical jump, he can do a backflip just standing there. He ran a laser time 10.7 in the 100-meter dash. We track him with our GPS units. He's constantly hitting 20 and sometimes 21 miles an hour. And he's a workhorse. He's not only hitting high speeds, he's getting a lot of mileage, which sometimes we want to manage and make sure he's getting the recovery. But clearly he's, it'd be better to say whoa than go for players. He's a player that we got to say whoa to and pull back on. He plays with a lot of passion. He's one nice thing about him that I've gotten to see intangible-wise is his growth and maturity since the start of the season. Since becoming a captain, he's become very encouraging. He's reaching out to younger players. He's establishing relationships with younger players. So to see his maturity just as a young man has been really rewarding for me, in addition to just being a great athlete.
That's awesome. Well, first home game this week against Brook Hill, and they're looking for some revenge. Faith put a thumping on them pretty good last year at Brook Hill. Returning starting senior quarterback Jonah McCowan. They've got Colton Richards, who's very much a versatile player, similar to Clayton. What do you think the Lions defense is going to have to do to stop those guys?
They've got, three big run plays that they kind of hang their hat on: counter, power, and buck. And so we've spent a lot of time this week teaching our guys how to properly fit that and putting together a game plan that makes sure that we're lined up properly. Their coaches do a really nice job of teaching the game well. They're well organized. They can get into different formations that can get you outmanned and out-leveraged really fast. So we're going to have to be very sharp on our communication and getting lined up properly, and then playing with great effort. And I think I've challenged our guys up front, the D-line and the linebackers, that they can really win the game for us by stopping the run. I think that's a big part of what Brook Hill does. They have some good pass concepts that are built off of play action and bootlegs that become less effective when we're stopping the run. And so I think that's going to be a big key for us. Line up well, play hard, and tackle well.
Nice. Well, Coach, I know it's been a busy week getting ready for this first game. We really appreciate the time, and we'll talk to you again next week. Hopefully we're talking about a Lions win next week.
Oh, that'd be great, yeah.
Well, that's head coach Bobby Holland here on the Bobby Holland Show. The Faith Lions host the Brook Hill Guard coming up on the Grapevine Faith Sports Network. Folks, welcome back to the interview, to the broadcast here. For those who are watching on YouTube, you had the distinct pleasure of watching that interview upside down for the entire time, and I have no idea why. So my apologies. Fortunately, the game is going to be right side up. And joining me here alongside me, Jack Wharton. Jack, come on in here. So the fans have been asking to see your face for I don't know how long.
Reminded me of an Eminem song today. Not all the words in the song, but guess who's back? Shady's back.
Oh gosh.
Yeah, I thought about that today, Steve, and we're about to do captains. Hey, before we get started, Steve, I want to thank our broadcast buddies.
Yeah.
That's what we're calling them: Mark and Terry James, Campese Restaurant, Grit Productions, Brian and Michelle Dooley, Kevin Abercrombie, and NG Concrete. Thank you for sponsoring our broadcast tonight.
Yeah, we very much appreciate the support and helps us get the computers that we need, all the equipment that we need. So we're very thankful for that.
You know what I would take right now, Steve?
What's that?
Campese's Pizza.
Boy, I'm telling you, if anybody wants to deliver Campese's Pizza, we'll give you another shout out here on the air. You deliver it up to the booth tonight.
With maybe the peppercino peppers on top of there.
All right, we got a job to do here, Jack.
Okay.
All right. So both teams are on the sidelines and ready to. Captains are ready to go out to the middle of the field. We'll be having the national anthem here in just a couple of minutes. I'm going to check our levels here briefly. Yeah, I think we're okay. At least I can. If anybody's listening on Mixer, you can let me know if we're too hot. It seems we're good on YouTube. Let us know where you're listening from or watching from tonight. 817-980-7994. 817-980-7994. Let us know where you're listening from. And if you got any rooting interest, if you've got a player on the field that's a friend or relative, we'd love to hear from you. Let us know. So, again, it's 817-980-7994. All right, so the officials are out in the field, and we've got, as I mentioned earlier, Jack. I think I thought the camera was on us, and it wasn't the whole time. So, yeah, folks, a few things to work through. Apologies for some of the technical snafus, but we're working through them. Hopefully, get these ironed out by the end of the season. Maybe by the last game, we'll have our ducks in a row, have things in order. So, Coach Music is up here in the booth with us, the line coach for the Lions. So excited to have him up here, and. Knox Wharton, we got a sideline reporter on the sideline this year, so we're excited. Knox Wharton's going to do it tonight. He's kind of our inaugural sideline reporter, and I'll be bringing him up here shortly to join us. You see the captains going out to the middle of the field. It's Clayton Sebecki, Ben Wagner, Max Martin, and Michael Offord. Out there for the coin toss. Trey, you got me? Some notables for the Brook Hill Guard. Colton Richards, number 5, is kind of their all-around utility guy. You'll see a lot of him tonight. We'll be calling his name a lot tonight. Hopefully not making too many scores if you're a Lions fan. Jonah McCowan, the senior, also senior alongside Richards. His dad, Luke McCowan, played in the NFL. He's got several relatives that played in the NFL, so nice pedigree there. Put on about 20 pounds in the offseason, Coach Ryle mentioned, and he's gotten a lot stronger arm. So should be a good test tonight. This is a non-district game, but this being the first game of the season, everybody really wants to do their very best, come out. You know, this is kind of the launching pad for the rest of the season. So Brook Hill has won the toss, and they're going to elect to receive the opening kickoff. So we'll.
Say something intelligent while I was gone.
I said.
I had to handle something.
Oh, all right. I got your mic turned on there, Jack. So now you can. All right, so we're going to stand for a word of prayer.
Oh.
And
did you say anything intelligent while I was gone? Because I was.
That was senior Abby. I didn't quite get her full name, Jack, but doing the national anthem there. She did a great job at the pep rally earlier today. So.
Well, I'm glad she filled in for me tonight. I declined the offer, but I'm glad she was able to sing that tonight.
Folks, if you've missed Jack Wharton as much as I have in the off season, you're gonna be listening in. So, Coach, I mentioned Coach Will Music up here in the booth with us. Super excited to have him here on the Grapevine Faith staff.
Let's just hope he doesn't use the foul language that Coach Dickert used to use last year. So,
if you're wondering about Coach Trey Dickert, he's on the sideline down there with the other coaches, Coach Topping, Coach Ware, the new offensive coordinator, and first-year head coach Bobby Holland. Got to be some nerves tonight trying to get his first win here at home in his first season here at Grapevine Faith. But a new era here for Grapevine Faith, and we're excited. Good crowd tonight. Got food trucks. Got this kind of Friday Night Lights, man, you can't beat it. Now, I would love some fall football weather, but I think maybe by January 5th, I think we're supposed to have something below 80 degrees. It is awful hot.
I really haven't had anything. So, Steve, I haven't had anything to do this summer. Yeah. We've got a sideline reporter this year, Steve. It was the on injury reserve for this season is one Knox Wharton. Is that who you're talking to on the wireless?
Yes,
okay.
It was, yeah.
Yeah, he probably is not a good person to have down there with his salty language father that he has. So.
All right, so Clayton Sebecki, Ben Wagner back deep. Here's the kick by Brook Hill. They're going to keep it away from Sebecki. Fair catch called for at the 18-yard line by Nathan Trigestead. Brook Hill obviously has done their homework because the last thing they want to do is kick it to Sebecki or Wagner. Those guys are one half, as you mentioned, I think earlier, one half of the state championship 4x100 relay team.
Very fast. Those two are both going to be very fast. Something to watch tonight, especially with Wagner at wide receiver. So
new face in the backfield, Matthew Rotella Kirschbaum as the running back next to Clayton Sebecki. 1st and 10 from the 18. There's a snap or handoff to Kirschbaum. No, it's a keeper by Sebecki. Cuts it here to the near sideline, looking to pick up a block. He does. And he's well down the field, almost out to midfield. A great run by Sebecki. About 20, 25 yards on that run, Jack, and a nice play from scrimmage on the first play.
Yeah, the key is not getting hurt, so it's good to see that he was kind of went down without getting kind of hit hard or anything.
We'll give you that lineup here momentarily. That was a nice block there by Christian Corley that sprung Clayton for a few more yards. 1st down and 10. Another keeper by Sebecki coming to the near side. Picks up a couple blocks, escapes one, out over midfield into Brook Hill territory, so a good first two plays. So 2nd and 5 from the Brook Hill 49-yard line.
I think you're going to see a lot of that tonight, Steve. Sebecki's both a dual threat, running and throwing. I think the scrimmage we saw last week in which he threw a 40-yard pass to the end zone without actually having his feet on the ground was impressive.
Michael Alford in as a running back. There's a pass downfield to Ben Wagner. Goes up, almost makes the catch. Kind of had to play defensive back there, but incomplete. So Ben Wagner, Noah Smith, the wideouts on the far side, Christian Corley, and Nathan Trigestead, the wideouts here on the near side. Mentioned Michael Alford. Normally see him as a lineman. He's in the game as a running back.
Yeah, they called the penalty on that one, Steve. I didn't see what that was.
I missed it as well. That's going to result in a first down for the Lions.
Defensive holding because it was only a 5-yard penalty.
Yep. We'll get you the starting line here momentarily, but 1st and 10 for the Lions from the 44-yard line. It's a keeper by Sebecki over around the right side. Oh, the ball is loose, and looks like, let's see, Brook Hill is recovered.
No signal yet,
let's
Steve.
See. Well,
the Brook Hill guys on that
crazy.
sideline are going crazy. Yep.
Clayton, man, you got to love that. Clayton hanging his head. Ben Wagner comes over and lifts it up. Says, nope. Those things happen, but waiting for an official signal. Yep, that is a turnover to Brook Hill.
Well, that's certainly not the way to start that one. That was a pretty good run over there. Just kind of need to go down if you're going to get hit like that. But It is what it is. He's trying to get an extra yard out of that whole
Yeah,
thing.
we had a similar play last night in the JV game at Brook Hill, and Walker Little, man, he was just churning, hit a big pile about 15 yards past the line of scrimmage and kept going, and then got stood up, and then he just got somebody stripped the ball from him. So it was just, you can't really fault him for that.
Yeah, you know, also you really want to score on that first drive. So however you can figure out a way to do that, that's really what you want to do.
So here's the Brook Hill Guard. There's a handoff to Richards around the left side. Stumbles forward for a gain of about 2, maybe call it a yard. Yeah, we'll call it 2 yards out to the 45-yard line. Colton Richards is kind of the utility guy, Jack. They can put him in a lot of positions. He plays both sides of the ball. You'll see him at defensive back. You'll see him at linebacker. They'll put him in a slot position. They'll put him wide out. They got him in the backfield right now, but he's a dangerous tool for them.
Yeah, and I think you're going to see throughout the season we're going to have a little struggle on our defensive line. So the linebackers like Corbin Irwin are going to have to pick up the slack just a little bit. I mean, I'm not saying anything bad about our defensive line. It's going to be a lot of tackles by your linebackers.
There's McCown with the pass to Brecken Westbrook.
That's a 3-yard.
Nice,
4-yard
loss there on the play. Good defensive play there. Ben Wagner with the tackle there. Nice play by Ben. So big third down play here. Want to give some credit, Jack, to the to Coach Partridge, Brian Partridge, who's on the PA right now, and the broadcast media team, the students. That opening video that we showed at the opening of the broadcast, I'm going to try to do it again at halftime, but they put together an amazing broadcast intro video. Here we go, 3rd down and 11 for Brook Hill. Snap back to McCown. He's looking to pass. A lot of pressure, flushed out of the pocket. Corbin Irwin with the sack. How about Corbin Irwin with his first tackle as a varsity player? Man, what a play there, Jack.
Yeah, Corbin's going to be a force. I mean, he's only a sophomore, and the kid has just put on a ton of pounds. Unfortunately, I see the kid at my house a lot, so I think he eats at my house most of the time.
I'm saying he's put on those pounds at your house, I guess.
I believe that's correct, yes.
Speedster Ben Wagner back to receive for the Lions. Great defensive stop there in series for the Lions defense, man. That was much needed. Oh, the ball, a high snap, gets past the punter. He does get the kick away, miraculously enough. And the Lions
need
to get out of the way.
Got out of that thing.
Yeah, that hit. We'll see where it hit and scooted out of bounds down to the 33-yard line. But, boy, they avoided disaster there. That could have been a whole lot worse. So we're going to go down to the sideline to our sideline reporter, Knox Wharton. Knox, can you hear us, buddy?
Yes, sir. I can hear you loud and clear.
What you got going, man? What's I see a lot of kids on the field down there. Are you keeping everybody in line?
I am keeping everyone in line. The energy's really high. It's a great turnout for the first home game for the Faith Lions.
All right, we're going to come back to Knox. There's a little pitch to Ben Wagner coming across to the near side, looking to pick up a block. Brings it still far to the outside. Gets pushed out of bounds just shy of the 45-yard line. We'll call it the 42-yard line, 43-yard line. So nice run there by Ben Wagner. Officials tonight are referee Andrew Fulton. The umpire is David Lott. Head line judge is Delwyn Young. Line judge Wes Johnson. The field judge Rhys Wilson. Side judge Dwayne Gibson. And our back judge Paul Halton. Appreciate their
Where did you get that from?
Dude, how about that? Is that very official or what? There's a handoff to Matthew Rotella Kirschbaum. And not much going there. The Brook Hill Guard had a nice penetration there, Jack. They kind of looked like somewhat of a busted play. I think Matt went left and should have gone right, and Clayton did the same thing, so they kind of bumped into each other.
Rotella Hirschbaum, he's a big kid. Dude. I mean, he is a thick, and, you're hoping to probably get some grind out a couple yards out of him. Offsides on that. That's going to be offsides. A free play for
There's the pass up, thrown up for Wagner, and makes a miraculous circus catch.
Great
Unbelievable.
Catch.
Jack, Ben has such an amazing vertical leap. He's so fast. It's incredible just to see. I mean, you saw what Clayton did. He just like a lob pass, like in basketball, like for a slam dunk. He just kind of lobbed it up there, knowing that Ben was going to go up there and get it.
Yeah, that was actually he just tipped it to himself. I mean, 25-yard pass, tipped to himself. That's great first down.
Well, you got to believe that Coach Holland is liking what he's seeing right now from his offense and from his defense on that last series. 1st and 10 now from the 32-yard line of Brook Hill. Rotella Kirschbaum in the backfield. There's a pass here to the near side to Noah Smith. catches a block from Trigestead, stays in bounds inside the 25-yard line. So a nice little 6-yard gain on that play, Jack.
That's a 9-yard gain, Steve. I don't know where you're
Man,
at.
Wow.
I've
Okay.
got my microphone way up here, but that's a 9-yard gain. I don't know what you're looking at.
I don't either.
Yeah, Noah's one of those kids that I saw getting out of the car in the spring going, I asked my son who he was, and he says, that's Noah, Dad. And I should have known, but he's gotten thick and tall and everything.
Man,
so.
some of these kids have put on some mass in the offseason and grown a few inches. Here's a snap back to Sebecki, keeper around the right side. Immediately hit. But he gets enough for the first down, so that's a good run there by Sebecki.
Yeah, it's like a 2-yard gain over there, Steve.
Yep. I'm watching that side now, Jack. I'm looking to see where the markers are. Comes Ryan Purdue, junior coming in, giving Rotella Kirschbaum a little bit of a break, and they bring Michael Alford back into the backfield. So a little bit of maneuvering. Alford's kind of like a John Riggins kind of back, man. Just a big kid.
Well,
pass from the near side to Noah. Picks up a block, has some speed, escapes, makes a little move inside the 10-yard line. Finally forced out of bounds. Nice little run there by Noah Smith.
Yeah, actually, when you were talking about Rotella, he's got the kicker bar and the Zonk face mask going. So.
Man, a great run there. And Trigestead with the Nathan Trigestead with the great block here on this near side. And Noah did some of that on his own as well with a couple little shifts and fakes, head fakes. Clock running here, 6:13 left here in the first quarter. No score. Lions turned the ball over on a fumble in their first series, then had to stop. Here's Sebecki cutting it back to the inside. He's in for the touchdown. Grapevine Faith. Boy, what a good series there, Jack. I mean, they started down, about their own 25-yard line.
Started on the 35-yard line.
Thank you. I should have known. So Jack's got it. He's got everything written down over here.
Yeah. No, that was a good drive. I think that's probably the drive they envisioned on the first go-around. Sebecki mixed it up with a little passing, little running, mixed it up with a 25-yard pass to Wagner. And then you got 20 yards in passing over to Noah.
Well, you're giving them a lot of different looks. There's a flag down. There's a legal procedure penalty on the Lions. So they're going to back up and re-kick. Josh Holroyd in the kick. Christian Corley doing the honors of holding again. If Christian's name sounds familiar, you've got his younger brother Slade, who's a freshman, played JV, had a game last night. I'll tell you that. Slade Corley had a game. And then his oldest brother, Lane Corley, is a sophomore at A&M. Or, sorry, he's a freshman. He's a sophomore. Yeah, sophomore.
No, he's a junior.
Junior at A&M.
Yeah, come on.
Here's Holroyd for the extra point from about 25 yards out, and he drills it right down the middle. So the Lions take a 7-0 lead with 6:01 left here in the first quarter. We're going to go back down to Knox Wharton. Knox, you got your ears on down there, buddy?
Yes.
All right, Knox, keep talking, man. We can barely hear you.
Yeah, energy's still high. Flag boys just came across the field.
What's the energy like down there? You were talking earlier that there's a lot of energy down there. What's the energy like on the sideline after that drive? Okay, Knox can't hear us. We'll come back to Knox when we don't have music playing. It's awful loud there on the sideline with the fight song playing. So we'll come back to Knox here in a little bit. He's our roving sideline reporter tonight, son of the one and only dulcet tones of Jack Wharton.
Okay, I've heard some listeners wanting to get a roster. Let me take a picture. I'll put it out on Instagram. Not very good with this, but we'll put it out on Instagram for both teams.
We'll
if you
get
guys
a quick
wanna listen to that.
thought from Coach Music, how he liked that drive. How was that drive, Coach? How'd you like that drive? Did we like that drive? Yeah, we got a thumbs up from Coach Music. He liked what he saw there. So, again, like you said, Jack, I think that's probably what they were trying to do on that first drive, and ball just got away from Sebecki, but again, the defense came up huge in their first series against the Brook Hill Guard, and so In their second series, they marched 65 yards down, and Sebecki on the keeper. And I was saying earlier, Jack, they're just throwing a lot of different looks at them. They've got you got Alford that's come in the backfield. Rotella Kirschbaum's been in the backfield. You've got passes to Smith. You've got passes to Wagner. A lot of weapons, and they've mixed it up. And then, of course, Sebecki on the keeper. So you've got a lot of different options out there.
Yeah, I mean, I think that's going to be the key for coaches going forward is keying on Sebecki. I mean, he really is truly a dual threat of throwing and running, and he's never played quarterback, at least at the high school level. He's got a lot of potential at quarterback. He's not going to play quarterback at Air Force Academy, but for this year, he's probably a good fit.
No doubt, man. Yeah, he seems very natural, probably in something that the position he would have chosen per se, but definitely he's definitely holding his own, doing a great job back there. So again, he threat to throw the ball as well as to run the ball. So don't have one. All right, here's Holroyd here to kick. Booming kick back deep. Xavier Kendrick receives it just at the.
Like he went down there, Steve.
Yeah, looked like he did. Big tackle there. Get you a number on that. I think that was. Until that was 12, maybe. Was that Colin Abercrombie? That was actually Carlos Afray on the return.
I don't really like the fact that we've got this camera business now, Steve, because everybody can see. I can't see anything. So,
we are working on some additional camera angles again. When the opening interview with the head coach is upside down, I'm not sure you can expect us to have a second camera besides the huddle tonight. So it's going to have to work for now, but we are working on getting some sideline cameras working. So that's in the works. Y'all hang in there with us. Here's Brook Hill Guard on their second possession from their own 18-yard line. There's a handoff to Richards. Gain of about 2 out to the 20, just over the 20-yard line. Excuse me, that was Braxton Durrett on the carry, not Richards. It's a gain of about 3 on the play, so a little more than what I anticipated. Second down and 7.
I'm really starting to worry about your eyesight, Steve. That's
Dude,
4 yards.
Oh,
clearly.
I said I could have told you that. That was long ago. Here's McCowan here rolling to his left side. And
that was a nice throw there.
Pass is caught. Yep. Excuse me, to the right side here on the near sideline. That pass is complete. That's a nice reception there by Ryder Williams. And that's enough for a Brook Hill Guard first down. So moving the chains, unlike their first possession. McCowan, again, very, very strong arm, good quarterback, can run. There's a handoff up the middle to Richards. He stumbles forward for a gain of about 5 there, Jack. Kind of a unassuming play there that turned into about a 5-yard gain.
I mean, their rushing attack has been pretty stout so far.
No huddle here for the Brook Hill Guard, trying to keep the defense on their toes. There's another handoff to Richards. Tries to take it around the left side. And gain of maybe a yard on the play. So nice defensive stop there. Trevor Williams and Collar Abercrombie in there on that tackle. So third down, big third down play here. See if the defense can hold them for the second time. 2 receivers on the far side, 1 here on the near side for Brook Hill. Colton Richards in the backfield alongside McCowan. Put a man in motion. That's to be field, but they're going to bring the punter in. Man, a great defensive stop there by the front, by the Lions. Now, the last time they tried to punt, Brook Hill had a high snap, and they barely got the punt away. So we'll see what happens here. Nobody back for the Lions. There's a good punt. Let's see if it gets a roll, and it's going to roll all the way down. Man, wow, all the way down to the 6-yard line. What a great punt there by Mio Ingvist, the senior kicker for Brook Hill.
Yeah, it's a 55-yard net punt. It's a good punt.
That was a great punt.
Talking to one of the coaches down there on the sidelines for Brook Hill, they mentioned that 15 of these kids on his roster are boarding school students. We've talked about these guys a lot, that they're living amongst their teammates. It makes it kind of fun, I guess, for the Brook Hill Guard.
We'll see if Knox Wharton can hear me. Knox, can you hear me okay, buddy? All right, so Knox, if you can hear me, give me some, give me a little, what's the vibe down? Actually, we're going to go back to the play here. Sorry, we're lined up. I'll come back to you. So here's Brook Hill. Excuse me, Faith at their own 6-yard line. Pass to the near side to Nathan Trickestad, and that falls incomplete.
Second 10 there. From the 6.
Second down here, deep in their own territory for Faith. Be a nice big drive here, Jack, if they could take this thing all the way down. 3 minutes, 17 seconds left. Clock stopped here in the first quarter. Bring a man in motion as a flip to Wagner. Breaks a couple of tackles and gets out over the 10. Gives them a little more breathing room.
Yeah, I mean, you get it to Wagner. I mean, you're going to get 5 yards probably without having to do a whole lot of work. He's fast. If you just get around the corner, that's really what you want.
I think that key is getting him out in the open field. They want to get the ball in his hands or keep the ball in Clayton's hands and get him out in the open field. If they can get past that initial defensive line, man, that get in the secondary, it is church because these guys are so fast. Scott Rowell mentioned that earlier in the interview with him as well. He knows that Sebeki especially is a threat. There's a keeper by Sebeki, cuts it back up inside. A good first down run there by Clayton Sebeki. So that'll move the chains.
Yeah, good 7-yard run, 5-yard run. What was it, 7 or?
Middle. You're on like the 19.
Yep, you like that, starting at your own 6, and now you got a little more breathing room. Opens up some options to you. Let me give a shout-out to Big Jack Bourne. Jack got injured. He's a freshman, got injured, and he is down with Coach Ware helping put the signals in. So love me some Jack. There's a pass here. Oh, man. Pass intended for Nathan Triggestead. He never turned around and almost intercepted. I think he thought he was going to Christian on that pass. Christian was on the outside route. Nathan had the inside route.
It almost looked like Sobecki saw something before the other player saw something, and it was already too late. The number 4 was just sitting right there. I don't think he expected that thing to drop.
That was awful close to an interception.
Yeah.
He kind of hung it up there. Michael Alford in the backfield now as a running back. Some shifting on the front line by the Brook Hill Guard. Here's Bryn Wagner in motion. A little fake handoff. Sebecki's going to keep it himself around the right side. Stays on his feet. First down. Great first down run by Clayton Sebeki.
Yeah.
First and 10,
he's very elusive. It seems to be like have been wearing some sort of Vaseline on his jersey, Steve. They wrap him up.
I think that's illegal,
stop
Zach.
him. Yeah,
I think that's illegal.
Yeah, they seem to stop him, but he keeps on churning. So,
well, great run by Sebeki there. So another first down out to the 31-yard line for the Lions. 2 receivers split to each side. Sebeki looking to pass. He's flushed out of the pocket. He's going to pass back across the middle of the field to Noah Smith. He catches it, escapes a tackle, and out for another first down play.
Well, that was across his body. That's not something you want to see all the time, but that worked out pretty well.
Yeah, Noah ended up being wide open in the middle of the field. And, man, that was, like you said, not dialed up that way, but you got to love the ingenuity and just kind of making something out of nothing out of that play. That's got to be frustrating for Brook Hill when they feel like they've got to stop. They flush the quarterback out of the pocket, think they've got him sacked, and they end up making a first down on the play. First and 10 from the 44. Snap back pass over here on the near side to Nathan Trickestad. And he gets a gain of maybe a yard. They keep him in bounds, but maybe a yard on the play. So, again, folks, let us know where you're listening from. We'd love to hear from you. 817-980-7994. Text us. If you're watching on YouTube or if you're listening on Mixler, let us know. Let us know any players that you're cheering for or listening for. 817-980-7994. So 28 seconds left here in the first quarter. Lions leading 7-0 on the drive here at their own 45. Snap back to Sebeki on second down. Looking for Nathan Triggestad. Double coverage. And broken up. No flag on the play. Nathan wanted one. But that will stop the clock with 16 seconds left here. It's going to bring up a 3rd and 9.
A lot so far already, Steve. I've seen less than, most of the third down plays have been 6 yards or under. This is by the longest 3rd and 9 that they had to gain. Last year we saw a lot of 3rd and longs.
Yeah,
So
unfortunately.
this year it's nice so far already in this game. We're only 1 quarter in, basically. But it seems a little more progressive than we saw last year.
Yeah, Ware likes to open it up, man. He's got an exciting playbook, and had a visit with. We got a timeout here, maybe. Yeah, timeout
Grapevine Faith.
by Grapevine Faith. Yeah, I had a visit with Ben Wagner. See if I can tee that up. He had some thoughts on kind of this season. Let me see with. All right, let's see if we're going to get into Knox Wharton. Knox sideline on the reporter, man. What do you got, buddy?
Energy's still good, like I've been saying. All the players are excited. Big first score we had there a while ago. I'm with Coach Ashley. Ask her how she's feeling this evening. How you feeling, Coach?
Feeling great.
Feeling great, feeling great.
Folks, you're not going to get that hard-hitting reporting anywhere else than right here. I mean, that is the way to go. Good job, Knox. Attaboy.
That's great. Steve, I will give you a compliment. I believe that we have the program for these kids with the production, audio-video production now this year, and it's probably because you pushed the envelope on the stuff that we do up here. I was telling people how creeped out I was by you approaching me saying, hey, everybody said I need to talk to you about doing this video, and I'm like, I don't know who you talk to, but those people must be under the influence of something. So.
I have no idea what you're talking about.
Well, the first meeting you said, hey, I want to do the broadcast for the games.
Yeah.
That was, what, 5 years ago?
All right, big third down play here, 3rd and 9 from their own 45-yard line. Here's a snap back to Becky, keeps it, run right up the middle. He's got the first down and then some. Big group of guard have to take him down, but a great run by Clayton Sebecki.
You know who didn't know he was going to run that ball? Brook Hill.
You're right. Yeah, one of the players' helmets came off, and Clayton just blew right up the middle. And I agree with you, Jack. I think they were surprised as anybody that Clayton Sebecki ran with that ball. But
don't give the kid about 3 yards to run because he's going to get 10 on you.
Well, again, you've got a lot of different weapons. That's going to be the end of the first quarter. You got a lot of different weapons here. And you got to love that. So I mentioned earlier that we'll go to Knox here in just a second. But yeah, you got a lot of different weapons there, Jack. I just don't know. Again, teams are going to have to figure out how they're going to, how they're going to defend that, and not easy to do.
No, not at all.
So Knox, let's see if Knox can hear me. Knox, you got me, buddy? Can you hear me?
I do have you. I can hear you.
All right, so you might have to walk down towards the end zone, away from all the noise if you need to, Knox. But yeah, we're gonna we'll come back to you here before the halftime. But if you got any insights or anything that you pick up on the sideline, man, just let us know.
First and 10, Derek. You're on the 38, on the far edge.
Yeah, I think Knox is having a hard time hearing us. Want to give a shout out to Rick Jensen, listening all the way from Richardson, Texas.
That's really so far away, Steve.
Home
of the Golden Eagles and the J.J. Pierce Mustangs as well, Steve.
That is Jensen Anthony's granddad.
Okay.
And that's where he got the name Jensen from Robin's maiden name. So, big first down run there by Clayton Sebecki to end the first quarter. Lions leading 7-0. There's driving here at the Brook Hill 38-yard line, 1st and 10. Snap back to Sebecki. Hand off to Michael Alford. Bust through the line for a gain of 4. Nice hard run there, Michael Alford. I'd have to ask. We need to ask him after the game. I don't know if Michael Alford's ever played running back in his life.
Yeah, I think it's just kind of a different look for Faith. I think that they want to see a big running back and see what happens.
I love it, man. I absolutely love it. So 2nd down, and we'll call it 7 from the 35-yard line of Brook Hill. 2 receivers split to each side. Bring Alford here to the other side. A keeper by Sebecki around the right side. Cuts it back up the middle. Big gain out. Close to a first down. Let's see. Yep, that's enough for a first down. We're going to move the chains on that.
An 8-yard gain there by Sebecki.
The Sanders are listening. they say great job, Knox. So, Jack, you and I have a lot of work to do, but great job, Knox, there on the sideline. So
I was actually impressed. If the kids listen to me on the radio, I don't even know if he had a chance.
So, big first down the run by Clayton Sebecki. Again, 2 receivers split to each side. Michael Alford in the backfield. There's Ben Wagner in motion. There's a little flip to Wagner, looking to pick up a block. Takes it around the left side. He's about enough for a first down. Knocked out of bounds. Finally inside the 15-yard line. So, nice run there by Ben Wagner. Jack, this is one of those plays where you just got to be patient enough to receive a couple blocks and see what opens up, and then you got to hit that hole, and Wagner did a great job of that.
Yeah, I think Wagner also is one of those kids. You give him 3 yards, he's going to get you 6 because he's too fast for the other team.
So first down run there by Ben Wagner on the end around.
I keep having to move Steve's camera so everybody can see his bald head.
No, that's not – this is what's on the air right here, buddy. That's just a preview.
Darn
That's
it.
a preview. I know. Sorry. People are watching the game. So first down and 10 from just inside the 15. There's a pass here to the near side to Noah Smith. Tries to get outside, and he's taken down about the 12-yard line. So gain of about 3 on the play. Want to say hey to Bob and Sherry Bowling. They are the grandparents of Austin Bowling, number 75. Jack, they're watching from Long Beach, California. And, man, we are so excited to have you guys watching. Glad you're able to see your grandson play, and we can bring the action to you here on the Grapevine Faith Sports Network.
Home of the Dirt Dogs.
Seriously, the Long Beach
State.
Dirt, dude.
Yeah, Long Beach State. Well, that's their baseball nickname.
There you go.
Yeah, the good country club there, Virginia Country Club in Long Beach. I've always wanted to play that golf course.
Second down and 8 for the Lions. There's a handoff to Michael Alford. Stumbles forward there for a gain of about 3 or 4. So good run there by Michael Alford.
Yeah, another 3-yard gain by Alford.
An amazing young man. We'll be hearing more from him later on this season in one of our stories of faith. But unbelievably talented. Plays guitar like you would not believe. Just an incredibly talented guy and just mature. Big mentor to a lot of the younger players on the team and just an outstanding young man.
I don't know who the young man is that's turning the numbers for our play calling.
That's Jack Boren.
Okay.
Yeah.
He's struggling. He's not struggling, but I think that's just a tough job.
There's a keeper by Sebecki.
Somebody to do.
Yeah, it is. That is in there for a first down, enough for a first down. So that's going to be first and goal. Once again, Jack, a play that didn't really look to be a design play like that, or at least Sebecki was maybe going to try to get around the outside. He cut it back into the inside, and gain of 6 on the play for a first down.
I really, truly think he will be a handful for a lot of teams this year. Again, the dual threat concept. I wasn't really sure how it would look with him since he hadn't played quarterback for a while.
There's another keeper by Sebecki, and he walks untouched for the touchdown. Grapevine Faith.
It's going to be tough to stop that if he I mean, I think one of the struggles we thought we were going to have this year is both offensive line and defensive line, and this offensive line so far has really shown their true grit.
Well, you've got a lot of backup on the line. You wonder if anybody's going to see any more. How much the heat's going to affect these guys. I've got to believe that Coach Ware and Coach Holland absolutely love what they're seeing right now. They're executing on all facets of the game, and these 2 drives by the offense they've been eating up clock. And you've moved the ball at will. There's Holroyd in for the extra point, which is good. So 14-0 Lions. 8:22 left here in the first half. But the other thing you got to give them credit for, Jack, is the defense. I'll be honest with you. I thought Brook Hill was going to come out here and just air it out. And they've had a couple of passes in the flat, maybe some flanker screens. But, man, other than that, they've had Richards trying to run the ball, but the defense has been so solid, they've stopped them. Done a great job on stopping him.
Yeah, the scouting report I heard on McCowan is he's a good quarterback, just inexperienced, not enough reps, and maybe not quite the talent around him that say Sebecki has around him.
That's 16 plays, 94 yards.
So the Lions kickoff team getting things ready. It's always interesting to see what happens when you've got you got a lot of people to graduate. You lost a couple of kids in the transition with a new coach coming in, and man alive, I'll be doggone if the Lions haven't really done a great job of taking the personnel that they have. And you heard, if you're watching on YouTube, you watched Coach Holland upside down talk about that. Well, I promise I'll get that fixed next week, folks. But, yeah, impressive drive there by the Lions.
Yeah, you've almost forgotten the fact that they started at the 7-yard line there.
Yeah.
So that drive took about
Yep.
about 7 minutes of time off the clock.
Yep. Impressive, for sure. Remind you to stick around at halftime. Our Stories of Faith this week. Vice President of Student Development, John Brooks. John's celebrating his 20th, he's been there 20 years at Grapevine Faith, and very few people have had the influence and reach and footprint that John Brooks has had. So be here for, stick around for halftime for the Stories of Faith. There's a great kick into the end zone by Holroyd. Fielded, brought out. Oh, big hit, taken down inside the 20.
Man, that was a pretty good run, and it just hit a brick wall.
Yeah. Trevor, what can't do that was? No, 52.
Yeah, Xavier Kendrick has some speed. You got to keep an eye on him.
Michael Offord in there on the stop. So after he runs the ball on that last series, he comes in here and makes a big hit. Jack, you've got all sorts of numbers and stuff going over here, man. I'm impressed.
Well,
I got to be honest with you.
I'm not very organized, Steve. I was trying to do it, but, this is first game of the year. I'm going to try to get more organized as the season goes on. That's a great start.
So here's Brook Hill with 8 minutes, 17 seconds left in the first half, seeing if they can make something happen. McCowan rolls to his right, looking for a receiver downfield. Ball lands short, incomplete. Brook Hill just having a hard time getting everybody on the same page offensively.
McCowan comes from good stock. You would think that this is going to be a pretty good offensive team, And I talked to the coach from Brook Hill, and I don't know what's going on with those kids, but they are just always big kids on that line for Brook Hill.
Here's 2nd down and 10, again from their own 17-yard line. Pass here to the near side.
Ooh.
Falls incomplete. Good coverage, Ben Wagner and Matthew Rotella Kirschbaum over there in the area. So that ball falls incomplete. So 3rd down, big 3rd down play here. Plenty of time for it's still 8 minutes and 10 seconds left with the clock stopped. So if they can get a stop here, Jack, plenty of time to get the ball back and try to score again before the end of that first half.
1 back, 2 by 2, or 2 by 1, 3 by 1. Sorry.
Snap back to McCowan. Oh, inside handoff to Richards. Brings it here to the near sideline. He's pulled down out of bounds. Oh, the clock's going to keep running.
That was one of those plays where you got concerned where the timing got off on the handoff, but it might have affected the defense more than it affected the offense.
Well, Matthew Rotella Kirschbaum there on the tackle. Stopped him short of a first down. It's about 4th down and 3. So that's going to, 4th and 7. Sorry, the wrong marker. So that's going to bring up a punt situation. Big Wagner back around midfield for the Lions. Punter for Brook Hill had a good punt last time. The Lions did not have anybody back covering, but a good punt, trying to get the right personnel on the field here for Brook Hill. And the Brook Hill Guard are going to take a timeout. They had trouble getting the right people on the field there.
Mentioned to a friend of mine today, very few teams who are going to play this year are actually going to have a singular nickname to themselves, like the Brook Hill Guard.
Right. Yes. Not plural.
I like
not
that.
plural.
Yeah. Who do we got Woodlands Christian next week. What's their little nickname? Do we know?
The Eagles.
The Eagles.
Yeah.
Woodland Christian. Fly like an eagle.
Yep.
Yeah. Well, good start for Bobby Holland. I think that's kind of what you wanted to see here. 2 touchdowns, 2 extra points. No real mistakes made so far. You got a penalty for 5 yards, false start. But for the most part, so far it's been a pretty clean sheet.
Yep. Yep, that fumble in that first series by Clayton ended up being of no consequence whatsoever. The Lions stopped the Brook Hill Guard and took over and proceeded to score on the next drive. 14-0 here, 7:23 left in the first half. Give a shout out to Kirk and Pam Parks, also watching Austin Bowling from Orange County, California, man. So the Californians are watching them some Austin Bowling tonight.
Knox is down there throwing the microphone up like it's some sort of baton or something.
The Lions, they blocked the punt, and the ball is knocked out of bounds inside the 10-yard line. Boy, they just got great penetration on that, Jack. Holy cow.
Get the ball inside the 10. We're going to be on the 9.
It looked like he struggled to get that ball out fast enough.
Well, they have never really it's been pretty shaky. The Lions almost blocked one 2 punts ago. He had the really good punt last time, and then that one, man, I think just deep in his own end zone or deep in his own territory really kind of gave him fits. But, boy, the Lions took advantage of that. He tried to run away from the defenders, and they ended up coming in and blocking it. So
remind me of the Necessary Roughness movie. Blow the whistle. He almost got around that corner to get that right or left leg kicking it.
Michael Alford in the backfield next to Sebecki. Switches sides there. He's going to keep her by Sebecki, taking around the left side, looking to pick up a couple of blocks. Gets hit about the 2-yard line and falls forward to the 1. So second down and goal.
1 yard line. You're on the fart line, maybe.
Boy, I can tell you that Scott Ryle probably did not see this in his game plan.
Second goal.
Thinking the Lions were going to come out, put up 21 in the first half.
You're on the far hash.
Yeah, I mean, you know, you told me last night that the JV got up early, so you just got to keep the gas or the foot on the gas pedal.
You got to believe here that they're going to keep the ball on the ground here. So there's Alford. Yep, there's Sebecki into the end zone for a touchdown. A little bit of extracurricular activity there, but
to score because you don't want everybody to know that Sebecki can score.
Right? Yeah, guys, he's just filling in for us this week.
He's a freshman.
Yes,
and he will not be playing next week.
Yes,
for
he
us,
is done. He is done. Won't ever see him again.
Yep.
So, I think watching film of tonight's game would be completely worthless. I'm not sure how it would help you at all.
I think there's a lot of people in Woodlands Christian watching this game and listening to you and I, Steve, just because they wanted to hear us. Legendary in our own minds.
In our own minds, for sure. Yeah. Josh Hurwood in. Christian Corley on the hold. Snap back is good. Kick is up. Drilled by Holroyd. That was good from 45. 21-0. Grapevine Faith. 6 minutes, 32 seconds left here in the first half. Let's see if we can get Knox Wharton. Knox is down in the student section. Knox, are you? Can you hear us?
This is going to be a good idea.
He might not be able to hear us. Knox, can you hear us at all?
That's. I think this is hard-hitting reporting down there with Knox Wharton. I don't necessarily know that this is a good idea, but it seems to be working out so far. Knox said he did mention to me that maybe he can't hear quite as well as you think.
Yeah,
so.
Yeah, it's very hard. It is hard to hear.
Which is surprising. I mean, we've got a good crowd tonight, but I actually expected every seat to be covered up tonight.
I did too. Yeah, it's a good crowd. It's not sold out by any means, but it's a good crowd. But
right.
Yeah, with this, it'd be fun to see some of the younger players come in and get some work. Jack, with the 21-point lead, we'll see what happens. I doubt knowing Coach Ware and Coach Holland, my guess is they're going to keep their foot down on the throat of Brook Hill. They're a powerful offense, so they're not out of this game by any means.
No, and everything has gone your way tonight except for the fumble with Sebecki on the first drive. If you don't have that fumble, you're probably up 28-0 at this point. And you also still need to get these kids reps. I mean, despite the fact that we get scrimmages in before the season starts, I think they had 2 before the season started. They're not real reps. They're just reps out there against somebody that's different than you in a practice setting, really.
Right.
So this game situation is good for a lot of the younger players we have on the squad.
No doubt. So Josh Holroyd to kick it off here from the 40-yard line. Last kick, he put it in the end zone, and Brook Hill brought it out to about the 18. Here's a kick, line drive kick, kind of toward the corner.
Get out.
And goes out of bounds. Almost got to the corner of the pylon, to the corner of the end zone, but goes out of bounds for an illegal procedure penalty. All right, we're going to try Knox Wharton one more time here. Knox, I'm going to talk a little slower. Can you hear me, buddy? All right, we're going to have you talking to the mic and tell us any updates down there from the student section. Is it pretty full? Good turnout tonight from the student section? Oh, I can't hear him. Can't hear
Yeah,
him. All right.
having a tough time hearing him. And it's that part is loud down there in the
Yeah, the drums near the drum line.
Mr. Partridge and the stadium down. It's good atmosphere as far as the game goes.
First
for
and
private
10 from the
schools.
30. There's a handoff to Richards. And cuts through the line for a gain of about 4 on the play. Takes it out to the 34-yard line. Colin Abercrombie on the tackle there. And Trevor Williams on the tackle for Grapevine Faith. Hayden Jobe, Trevor Williams, and Ryan Purdue in there on the defensive front. There's McCown to his right side. Pass to Westbrook there in the flat. Good tackle there by Colin Abercrombie. So it's going to bring up a 3rd down and 2. 38-yard line. McCowan directing traffic in the backfield. There's a handoff to Richards around the right side, trying to get to the end, and he makes it down the sideline, enough for a first down.
Good run there.
Yep. Talked about the versatility of Richards and the speed he's got. He's got great hands. He plays defensive back. They put him at linebacker.
Boy, he must have stepped out of bounds. That
Receiver,
looked
running
like a
back.
10-yard gain there for a while.
Clock stop, 5 minutes, 24 seconds left here in the first half. Lions leading 21-0. Brook Hill trying to put some points on the board here before the halftime. McCowan chased out of the pocket.
Had no shot with that pass.
Pass is incomplete.
When you're throwing off your back foot like that, there's no.
Yeah, that was an awkward. It was an awkward look. He kind of was cross-bodied. It was weird. I can't even describe it.
It's like a shot put, if you.
A little bit.
You know that the game last year at Brook Hill, same kind of almost the same start. Got up pretty quickly on them, and then they kind of held their own for a bit, and then kind of grounded out for a while to get back in the ball game.
2nd down and 10. Handoff to. Got a number here in a second. There's a gain of about 3 on the play. That was to Richards on a kind of end around there. So 3rd down and 7 from the 46-yard, their own 46-yard line. So big 3rd down play here for both teams. Clock running with just under 5 minutes left in the first half. Again, Lions leading 21-0. McCown with the hard count, but nobody jumps.
Did you have a couple kids jump off last night?
Oh my gosh, I ran out of fingers and toes to count the number of offsides we had on that hard count. There's a keeper by McCown. He chased out of the pocket by Corbin Irwin, just throws it out of bounds. Good pressure there by Corbin. Atta boy.
Tell you what, that was almost intentional grounding. Not really outside the pocket, was he, Steve?
No, and I think he got to pass the line of scrimmage though, Jack. So they'll give him credit for that.
They are.
And he's moving outside the pocket, so maybe that's why they gave him credit.
Well, 4th down. That's going to bring out the punting unit for Brook Hill, and assuming they go through with the punt here, they've struggled in their special teams.
We're good.
As much as I'd love to see a fumbled snap or something, I'd love to see a kick back to Ben Wagner to see what he does with the ball in his hands.
Yeah. I would punt it away from Wagner. You can't give a guy 30 yards of speed.
Oh, it's going to keep her. He's going to try to run it. And,
face mask.
Oh, face mask. Doggone it. Yep. Oh, face mask on the Lions. They had him dead to rights and a loss of about 15. I'm not sure what they were dialed up there, Jack. If you're going to run the ball, why wouldn't you keep your offense on the field? We got a Lion down that's down on the field right now.
Yeah, I'm not so sure why you would have done that. So that's a
Corbin.
wow.
Corbin Irwin is down. And we're going to pray he's okay. The Brook Hill staff is over there immediately trying to help him. Ashley, the trainer, on her way out to help him. It could be a knee. I'm not sure what happened there, Jack, if he got his knee caught back up underneath him or what happened. But, prayers right now for Corbin Irwin. It's just something very minor.
Sophomore having a heck of a ball game so far. First half of the varsity career. Let's hope it's just a temporary injury.
Yep.
Shark.
We'll see if when Corbin comes off the field, we'll see if Knox can get a status on what happened to him when they come off the field.
I thought that was Shark.
got Knox down the field. Knox, when Corbin comes off the field, we're going to try to get don't let Ashley take care of him, but when they finish with him, see if you can find out what's going on, what happened to him.
First time with a wireless mic, Steve. We're like a real production now.
I'm telling you, it's scary.
Yeah.
Hey, Brandon Norman just texted me. His son Grady, who graduated last year and is playing at Johns Hopkins University. Grady's got us dialed up, said he's listening to the two of us. Grady, dude, we miss you. This is a good sign. Corbin Irwin is walking off on his own power, so that is a very good sign. He is favoring.
Got a hitch in his giddy up,
yep,
Steve.
He's favoring a little bit. His left. I think it's his left leg, but that is a good sign that he is walking off on his own power. A little bit of a limp, like you said, but hopefully it's nothing major.
I didn't say a limp. I said he had a hitch in his giddy up, Steve.
But Grady Norman, we miss you, buddy. We love you, man. Wish you were here, and but excited for your new opportunity at Johns Hopkins, man. Go make the most of it. We're going to try to watch some of your games this year. All right, first down after that face mask penalty. Clock is started here, 4:20 left in the first half. Brook Hill Guard gifted with that face mask penalty. McCowan chased out of the pocket. There's a pass deep out of the hands, incomplete, out of the reach of Colton Richards. Excuse me, Ryder Williams. My apologies.
He had him open too.
Yep, open for just a second, and not sure who was there in pursuit. Couldn't get a number on the Grapevine Faith lineup. That may have been. I couldn't tell who that was.
Charlie Bunch, maybe.
Showing number 20, but I don't have a 20 on the roster. All right, second down. There's a handoff to Richards here, bringing it to the near side, looking to pick up some blocks. Picks
Donovan.
up a couple.
Charlie
Donovan, yeah, there we go. So Richards with a gain of about 7 on the play, so brings up another third down play. Have to believe, Jack, that this is going to be 4-down territory.
I would think so. You got clock is at 3:50. The other good thing is we talked about being a lot of teams were not third down and long. We've not had third down long very often. These guys have had third down long almost every drive.
There's a handoff to Richards up the middle. He has enough for the first down and then some. That's going to stop the clock momentarily for them to move the chains.
That's a good 6-yard gain there.
Boy, what a difference this game, or at least this drive we've had in this drive because of the that penalty that extended that drive for the guard. Yeah, the guard, they're not in any hurry to try to get a playoff here.
I don't think they want to give the ball back to Clayton Sobecki with, say, a minute left.
With any time on the clock,
Yeah.
I agree with you. There's McCowan, handoff to Richards on the inside again, brings it here to the near sideline. He's pushed out of bounds.
Whoa. Oh,
Couple of folks go down. We had a player on the sideline. The official went down. Pushed.
I feel like Richards has been at Brook Hill for like 8 years.
Yeah, he's been there a while. Clock stop with 3:02. Second down, and we'll call it 7 from the 25-yard, inside the 25-yard line. There's a snap back to McCowan, handoff to Richards again. Big hole up the middle. Brings it here again to the near sideline. Looked like the ball was almost loose.
Yeah, that arm almost came
Rotella
back.
Kirschbaum was trying to strip that ball, but Richards with another first down run. So clock continues to move, and Brook Hill trying to put some points on the board here before the end of the half.
It's been a kind of a nice paced game, Steve. I mean, the clock hasn't stopped very often. Passes, not very many passes are incomplete. I might be home before 11 tonight.
Got a thought on the difference in offense this year here momentarily. So here's the first down play. Another handoff to Richards. Cuts it back to the inside. Big tackle there by Jake Ford. Attaboy, Jake Ford. Last year, when you got a kid like Chase Cross, who was your quarterback for 3 years, and he was your quarterback for 3 years, and we got a penalty marker on the play.
That was a late penalty. It's going to be.
Yeah.
That's going to be.
I think that's against.
It's against Faith. It's going to be some sort of.
It's a personal foul.
Yep.
Dead ball, personal foul. I can't tell who. Let's see. They're calling it against Grapevine Faith. Well, that is not what they needed.
Nah. Oh, there's Corbin Irwin. He's still got a little hitch in his giddy up. No tape on the knee. It looks like it may have been a knee injury. Knox, if he's paying attention, can find out maybe for us.
Knox, we'll go down to Knox if we can. Knox, were you able to find out what happened with Corbin Irwin?
I do have a little bit of intel on what happened to Corbin. Something up with his knee. Apparently, it's been there since the first couple days of practice. Some swelling involved down his ankle, apparently. I only heard bits and pieces, but I do know the main problem is his knee. Looks like he was feeling better. He did a couple cuts for Coach Ashley to show them how he's looking, how he's feeling. So hopefully he's doing okay.
Appreciate that, Knox. Thanks so much. Good insight there from the boy. In fact, Corbin's back in the game, so that's a good sign.
I'm going to go ahead and give that grade to that sideline reporter at about an A minus, maybe. It's pretty impressive, actually. I don't know. He's a better punter, probably.
No, a better sideline reporter for sure. Yeah. On that last play, the little gain by the Brook Hill Guard, and 2nd down and goal now from the 7-yard line. Another handoff to Richards. He breaks through, and he's in the end zone for a touchdown for Brook Hill.
Well, that stinks, Steve.
So here's the guard lining up. They did this last year. They line up kind of in a weird formation with the line all the way over to the far left.
They get all wonky.
Yep. They've got a couple of receivers out here. And, they're going to move everybody over and go for one, go for the kick. Minute 17 left here in the first half, so the Lions will have a little bit of time on the clock to work with. Kick is up, and it is good. So 21-7. And, it's one of those coulda, shoulda, woulda, Jacks, but you got a couple penalties that really cost you. You had an unsportsmanlike conduct penalty down here in the red zone, and you had the face mask out at midfield that extended. It was a 4th-down play, and that would have turned the ball over. So,
that 70-yard drive, 5 minutes and about 15 seconds off the clock for the guard. I'm sure the guard would rather have a 5-minute, 15-yard drive. Great. They got bailed out on the face mask. I don't think that. That kid had no shot to get the first down. So. They really just got bailed out on that face mask. But it was a face mask. I'm not saying he got bailed out. It was a bad call, but it was close. So,
yeah. Minute 17 left here in the first half. Reminder to stick around at halftime, folks. On both the Mixler app and here on the YouTube channel, we'll have our Stories of Faith. For our first game, it's Vice President of Student Development, John Brooks. Had a great sit down with him earlier this week, and I think you'll really enjoy hearing from him. Stories of Faith really gives us an opportunity to talk about the amazing young men and women, faculty, coaches, staff, students, parents, families here at Grapevine Faith, and to tell their stories. And so you're going to have a real treat ahead of you here with John Brooks.
And Coach Brooks was instrumental to our success as a broadcast squad as
absolutely.
Well. He and his wife. I shouldn't leave her out as well.
Kathy, big proponent in helping that. I did mention that in my sit-down with him that, we wouldn't be sitting here if it wasn't for him. He not only helped promote it, but he championed that for us, and, man, he took it and ran with it. So,
one thing clock management's always key in all football games. The fact that they've left a minute on the clock, 4 minutes 17 for Grapevine Faith, if they kick it to Sobecki or Wagner, I'd be shocked. I think that that's probably too much time on the clock. And I think Grapevine Faith needs to put points up on the board here, because you really don't. Okay.
Caught by Sobecki at the 15, brings that over the 20, the 25, looking for some blocks here on the near sideline. He's out near midfield. Big run back by Clayton Sobecki inside of Brook Hill territory. Well, we talked in their first kickoff that they had to start the game, Jack. Brook Hill received, didn't they? They took the ball. But we talked about keeping the ball away from Sobecki. And
I don't even know what that was, to be honest with you, Steve. It was like a squib. They were trying to get through the end zone. I don't
they tried to line drive it, and sure enough, man, Sobecki fielded it and ran it back So the Lions here, minute 10 left here in the first half.
That was actually Ben Wagner.
Was that? I'm sorry. That no, that was Sebeki. That was Sebeki. Yep.
I'm sorry.
Yep.
Offside.
Yep. The guard's gonna be offside. Free play. Here's a ball up for grabs from Wagner.
Man.
He makes the catch. Unbelievable. Ben Wagner. Offsides on. There's a penalty flag down. That's going to be offsides on the Brook Hill Guard. So that play is going to stand. So they'll restart the clock here. Minute 4 here. Clock will start momentarily. Matthew Rotella Kirschbaum in the backfield with Wagner. With Sebeki, excuse me. You've got Wagner and Triggerstead here on the near side.
Yeah, that was a nice pass, nice catch by Wagner, more importantly, and that's a 27-yard gain right there.
Here they are quick to the line of scrimmage. Got the play in. Snap back to Sebeki. Loses the ball, but he picks it up. Still makes a play. Wow, went from a loss of about 4 to a gain of about 5 on that play. Man, that's the athleticism of Clayton Sebeki right there, Jack. Your traditional quarterback, I don't know if he makes that play, but Clayton is so fast and made such a great adjustment there, picking the ball up and getting some positive yardage out of that.
Yeah, I think that's the key. We talked about just earlier with the guard, they had the sequences out of whack, and then all of a sudden we were the same thing here, and it worked out well. I mean, you get the speed of Sebeki, it really helps out a lot.
No doubt.
And I can hear Coach over here talking about the number of timeouts. I still go back to that legacy game from last year that we can't figure out how many timeouts we had. So I'm appreciative of the timeout count. I really do appreciate that. So,
well, Clayton Sebeki's grandma is saying she can't hear us. This is Beverly. And Beverly, we would definitely want to acknowledge you. You're saying you can't hear us. I'm not sure if she's listening on Mixler or if she's watching on YouTube. I'm hearing us.
I think she just wants to hear me. Just make sure we keep that in mind.
I'm hearing us on YouTube. I had the broadcast up on my phone, and I am hearing us there.
I've got a text from my girlfriends over at the Autumn Oaks Nursing Home. They're looking for me tonight.
46 seconds left. There's Sebeki's back to pass. Wide open. Matthew Rotella, Kirschbaum, touchdown. Boy, just that touch. Sebeki just lofts it up there and lets those guys do their thing. Matthew Rotella Kirschbaum with the touchdown.
That was a weird-looking pass play. It worked, it looked awkward with.
It was. It was.
Rotella
Yeah.
trying to catch it. He's not your traditional wide receiver.
No.
Probably not really your traditional running back either.
He's so big. He's more like a linebacker or defensive end. I don't know what his size is, but Matthew's just a big kid. There's Holroyd in for the extra point and blasted through.
Yep.
So, Jack, you said it, that Brook Hill was not in any rush to try to get those plays off because they didn't want to leave any time on the clock for Sebeki. And sure enough, man, they left too much time on the clock, and they take it down. Of course, the kickoff return was huge. So,
my goodness, it was only a 29-second drive.
It was 3 plays to go 48 yards.
So, wow, 28-7. The Lions leading 28-7. And, man, impressive showing again. I'm not sure how Brook Hill. And Coach Ryle talked about it in his pregame interview that they knew that Sebeki was athletic. But I'll give the Lions credit. They've thrown a lot of different looks at the Brook Hill Guard tonight, and they've run different plays, different formations. They've thrown the ball to different guys. They've handed the ball off. They've had Michael Alford in the backfield. I mean, they've moved everything around.
And I am very upset the fact we have video for this now because I told Barry Irwin last night. People now know I don't know what I'm talking about half the time. But you're not even seeing traditional passes from Sebeki. I mean, they're just kind of awkward throws because they're just there. I mean, it's like easy. It's like you're in the backyard throwing a ball around. So.
Yeah, I'm really impressed with what I've seen from Clayton tonight. And, again, a lot of weapons. Just really impressive first half for the Lions. I mean, I think Bobby Holland, if you told him, hey, Coach, you're going to score 28 points in your first half on your first home game with the new offense, new offensive coordinator, new personnel, I think he'd be thrilled with that.
Privately, I've heard a lot of good things about Coach Ware and his offense. I think that's probably been important to the success of what's going to happen in this first half, or what did happen in this first half.
Well, Coach Ware and Coach Holland coached together at Lake Highlands. You heard that in his pregame upside-down interview on YouTube. But, yeah, Coach Ware brings a really exciting offense, and Man, Coach Holland, you just feel a renewed energy here at Grapevine Faith. Great guy, great family, and we'll get to know Coach Ware.
By the way, I hate Lake Collins. They used to run that triple option back in the day at Lake Collins, and they always were successful.
Oh man, the old triple option, man.
We tied Lake Collins when I was in junior high, maybe like 85-ish. And back then, you only had one team from each district goes to the state playoffs at the time. Now you got like 8 teams from each district go to the playoffs. But Lake Collins ended up getting the bid over J.J. Pierce that year because we tied and we lost out on the tiebreaker.
You've never forgotten it.
Never forgotten that.
All right, so 42 seconds left. Here's a pass over to Richards over in the flat. He's going to take it around the right side, up the sideline, getting knocked out of bounds. That'll stop the clock. You would think that they're going to be pretty conservative on their play calling here, Jack. I can't imagine they're going to try to throw anything across the middle.
Well, why would you throw a pass in if you're trying to run out the clock?
Right, yeah.
I think they're going to try to see if they can kind of hunt and peck and see if they get something big happen.
Yeah, maybe get a break out in the open, get somebody in the open field with the ball, and
or at least get a field goal out of this if they thought they could.
There's McCowan back to pass again. Good protection. Flushed out of the pocket. He goes to his right.
Oh, gosh.
And gets the ball got knocked down.
Oh, he called that an incomplete pass. It almost looked like he fumbled it.
I think that was Matthew Bertella Kirschbaum again. Called his name a lot tonight, that last touchdown pass from Clayton Sebecki. So that incomplete pass will stop the clock. I guess depends on what happens here, Jack. The Lions may get the ball again with time on the clock.
I suspect you're going to see number 6 run the ball. You still have one timeout left, I believe, for the – yep, you still have one timeout left.
Again, there's nobody deep.
I think you're going to hand it off to number 6, and then you're going to hope that you get either a first down or just run enough of time off the clock.
Nope, they're passing.
My goodness.
There's McCowan looking downfield. He's chased out of the pocket. Okay. Big pressure by the Lions.
Oh, my gosh. That's intercepted.
Oh, incomplete. Colin Abercrombie dove, almost had the interception. Yeah, McCowan couldn't do anything with it and just it was like a two-handed shovel pass forward in the vicinity of a receiver, and Colin Abercrombie almost came up with it.
I've seen a lot of stuff over the years, both JV and varsity. I don't think I've seen.
I've never.
Like that
I would agree.
Especially the guard. I mean, that's a. I mean, we're getting some pressure on him, and I'm a little shocked to be quite perfectly truthful, but.
Yeah, you talked about how big the Brook Hill line is. I'm with you, Jack. I thought that this would. I didn't quite expect to see the pressure that we've had here. We'll see if Brook Hill decides to have their punter run it again. Oh, there's a penalty or timeout.
Who's going to call the timeout here?
Let's see. Yeah, Brook Hill calls it. Yeah, their punter was late too. On 4th and 5, deep in your own territory. Excuse me. Brook Hill punter was the last to get on the field on a 4th down play.
Yeah,
so
that's a little shocking. But the punter 25, Mick Enquist. Is that right?
Yeah, Mio Enquist.
Mio, he's actually got a pretty good leg on him when he can get the ball off.
Yeah, we saw that big punt from him.
I'm going to guess just with the name Mio Enquist and that he's a specialty player, I'm going to guess he's from some other country.
Well, if you remember, they're a boarding school. Remember, they have, if you remember that.
Guessing.
Oh, did you? Okay.
I was just guessing.
No, I was just reminding you that they're a boarding school. They've got players from all over Europe, Central America, Latin America. We were there last night for the JV game, and they've got, I mean, it looks like you're driving up. You were there last year with Jack for that varsity game.
Yeah, how was that Frito pie last night?
We didn't have one. We weren't blessed with that. But, man, they
April's really checking out my diet this year, so I can't even talk about the food on the air anymore.
Ben Wagner back deep for the Lions, standing at the Lions' 35-yard line. There's a low snap. There's a penalty flag on the play.
Got a flag.
Ball shanked off the right side of his foot.
I think that was a dead ball.
Let's see what we've got here. We'll see. The officials are going to talk about it. The illegal procedure against the Lions.
Wait, what?
How do you have an illegal procedure on the defense?
I have no idea. 2, 4, 6, 8, 10, 11 guys on the field. I don't see 12 men on the field. That's gonna result in a first down for the Brook Hill Guard. Good grief, man! We keep stepping on our own tail.
Is that like maybe I don't even know how you do that. Is that like maybe cat calling the signals or something? I don't.
Yeah, I don't. That was super weird. I've never seen. I'm with you, Jack. I've never seen that. That was strange. All right, so McCowan, 16 seconds left on the clock. Lions leading 28-7 here in the first half. Snap back to McCowan. Inside handoff to Richards. He stumbles forward for a gain of 5. Yep, there's going to be a flag down. Yeah, we had a late hit on on Nathan Triggerstead, one of the Brook Hill players. It was of no consequence whatsoever on the play. It was out in the secondary. It was a good 15 yards down the field. Now the referee is talking to both teams, and y'all going to clean this up. But there's a penalty flag down. That's going to go against Brook Hill. That's going to back them up 15 yards. There's 10 seconds left on the clock.
Yeah, you're going to see another handoff to Richardson.
But Nathan Triggerstead was just, I don't know if he was blindsided or cheap shot exactly what happened, but it happened right in midfield. The back judge saw it. It was right in front of him.
Yeah.
A personal foul against the Brook Hill guard. Yep, so that's going to do it for the half. They're going to basically call the half there, I guess.
Well, they're going to have to get in there and get some pickle juice, Steve.
Yeah, right?
Yeah.
Well, folks, as we mentioned, great first half here, Jack. Any initial thoughts? Again, 28-7. You've seen a little bit of everything from the Lions. What do you expect in the second? Brook Hill's going to have to make some sort of adjustment.
I'm impressed with the squad. I mean, they look crisp. Not a whole lot of mistakes. I mean, we've got some penalties in the first half. You were looking at really just 2 penalties, 3 penalties. Had to be 3 penalties. I had them down for 3 penalties. I had them down for 3, or us down for 3 penalties out there in the first half. So, pretty clean game, I would think, especially the first game out of the box. Offensively, looks pretty good. It looks like it's going to be the Clayton Sobecki show.
Yep.
He's going to dictate out what's going to happen, either running or throwing. And I think you're going to see a lot of rushing for the rest of the year. And that's good. I mean, you can't put so much pressure on your offense where you're out there as long as you are. So,
yep,
especially
no doubt.
the heat
right
like we got now. I think rushing the ball and ball control, making forward progress is going to be key.
No doubt. Well, we're anxious to see what both teams pull together here for the second half. So we're going to go to our Stories of Faith with John Brooks. Stand by for that. Again, you're listening to Grapevine Faith Football here on the Grapevine Faith Sports Network. Lions lead 28-7 at halftime.
We're excited for our first installment of the Stories of Faith and for the 2023 football season. If you're not familiar with this segment, Stories of Faith allows us to tell some of the incredible stories about the personalities and people here at Grapevine Faith Christian School. And there's so many amazing stories here at Faith, and this gives us the opportunity to tell about those stories. So this year we're excited to have our first installment with the Vice President of Student Development, John Brooks. John, thanks for taking time to sit down with us, man. We're looking forward to visiting with you and hearing your story.
My pleasure. You bet, Steve. Well,
first things first, let's start with the important stuff. Your family. I know you and your better half, Kathy, have kids and grandkids. Tell us about the Brooks family.
I'll be glad to. My wife and I have been married now 38 years.
Wow.
Yes, and we have 2 grown children, and they have children. Our son and his wife, they have 3 children. Their oldest is Emery. She's a first grader here at Faith. And then my daughter Brittany and her husband Cameron, they have 2 boys. The oldest is a first grader here at Faith. So we have our hands full. We're 5 grandchildren total, and it's a blast. Love this stage of life for us.
That's awesome. Kind of starting all over with the new kids coming into the Faith family.
You bet.
Love it. Well, I don't know many other people at Faith have had their fingerprint on as many areas of the school as you have. You've served in many capacities of Faith, most recently as athletic director, but you're in this new role of VP Student Development. So talk about this new role that you're in and what you're learning from it.
Yes. This is my 20th year here at Faith. And I still pinch myself as I drive in from Keller every day, and that I'm blessed to be able to be a part of this ministry. I can tell you probably the greatest thing that I've learned over these past 20 years, Steve, is that we own nothing So hold it lightly, but hold it seriously, right? We want to be careful and good stewards of what we're given.
For sure.
And that is also in the area of leadership and the responsibilities that we're given. And I have been blessed to be given a number of leadership roles here over a number of things. And I always tell people that God never wastes a day, right? Everything that we've gone through, everything that we are going through is going to come into play. It's going to come to fruition at some point in time. And that certainly is the case where I am right now, as God has allowed me to give oversight to the mental, emotional, spiritual health of our faith family in general, specifically to our students, faculty, staff, families. And then leadership is that's a passion point of mine that I get to flesh out as well.
Well, it comes naturally because you are a leader in your role, so we're so thankful for that. You know, we wouldn't be sitting here today if it wasn't for John Brooks. I can remember my son, my old son here at Faith, Jensen, was in 7th grade Lion Power one summer, and I saw John. I knew who John was, didn't know him. Tapped him on the shoulders. He's walking from the field back over to the high school, and I said, "Hey," introduced myself. I said, "I'm just curious, why don't we broadcast the high school football games?" And they just finished doing the radio portion, and he said, "Come to my office next week." And so here we are 4 years later. But John, you not only really embraced it, you championed it, and were the director for the first couple of years. He was the guy on the computer directing all the video broadcasts. So we're thankful that you took a role in that. We wouldn't be here if it wasn't for you.
Well, Steve, we have a what if mentality, right? What if, whatever, let's go. But if we're going to go in, let's go all in. And I could see from the moment that you and I connected on that sidewalk, I said, that's a man of passion, and I'm all about that. So it was a lot of work is what that was.
It was.
But it was a blast. We had a great time, got to know each other well, and I love what you're doing with it and the ministry tool that it has become.
Well, we're just thankful that you jumped on board so early and embraced it. So thank you for that. So my family and I, we're in our 6th year here at Faith, and the last couple of years we were in public school prior to coming to Faith. They stopped doing any sort of field trips, any type of activities outside the 4 walls of the school. They just really didn't exist anymore in public schools from our experience. Right. And one of the million things we love here at Faith, our two boys now being in high school, is the opportunity to be involved with SLU. And I know that you play a critical role in that, help lead that up. Talk for those who are watching don't know about SLU, talk about that, what it is and what all is entailed and involved for the kids.
You bet. So there's a great quote that we are the same people 5 years from now than we are today, but for the books that we read, the places we go, the people we meet, and the things that we memorize. And so we try to place our students in situations where they're stretched and their leadership muscle is stretched, and there's no greater stretching that happens than travel. We're just coming off the summer. We come back from summer trips, right, and we got to rest because we've been stretched and our muscles have been worked. But we find that to be an incredible backdrop. We partner with an organization called Student Leadership University out of Orlando. And that is part of the process of developing leaders. So it's an opportunity that many of our families over the years have taken advantage of. And it's kind of stair step. So the first step is down to San Antonio, learning the rules and tools of leadership. We, of course, just encapsulate it with a ton of fun. This is for students. And then we move from there to the 201 step, and that's in Washington, D.C. We've added a bit to that. Last year we did Boston prior to the conference starting, because you got to do that.
Sure, absolutely.
And we have a master history teacher here, Mr. Jackson. He and his wife, Lana, lead that trip and are phenomenal. I get to fly up there and just peek in on it, and it's great. And then the 301 level is our Europe adventure. And so my wife and I lead that. I work with students throughout the year. They actually plan the 2-week excursion and then they carry it out. We're there to make sure it doesn't go off the rails, and we bring them all back, and it's worked. And it's been a phenomenal, just opportunity. We say that leadership is a process. Our students aren't projects, they are people under construction by Almighty God, and so we get to be in on that, and it's awesome. It's a great experience for us. So we do a lot of traveling with our students.
That's amazing.
Yeah.
Well, I think it's clear that God put a call on your life to influence young people. You were a youth pastor, youth minister at one point, and obviously you're athletic director, coach. I mean, all those things that you've been able to influence young people. Tell us about your faith journey and what mentoring and influencing young people has meant to you.
Yes. I have to look, when I talk about my faith journey, I have to go right back to my mom and dad. My mom and dad, they didn't read books, they read the book, and then they lived the book, and they were the greatest mentors I have in my faith, to know what it actually looks like to walk out your faith. What does it look like for Jesus to truly be in control of every aspect of your life? And they modeled it so well. And I didn't know it at the time. I go through the teenage years like everybody else. But at 9 years of age, I realized for the first time that at one point I'm going to stand before God and give account, and my mom and dad weren't going to be standing with me. Mm-hmm. And I realized, it was a personal decision that I needed to make. Was I going to allow him to be Lord and Savior? And the best way I knew how, as a 9-year-old, I surrendered my life to that. And then it's been a road of learning, growing, and in the Lord, and it's just been a sweet journey. Much of what I do today is not because it's been shown to me or done. Some of it is out of a void of not having those things. And I said, if only someone would have come alongside in this way. And so God has used that in my life as well to flesh out this thing called ministry in my life. So
that's awesome.
Yeah.
Well, this year Grapevine Faith celebrated its 25th year, amazing milestone, and it's incredible to think about the 25 years of influence that Faith has had to the countless number of families. From a future standpoint, like the next 25 years, from your vantage point, what does that look like?
A walker. We are about strategic planning, and I love it. I was meeting with a potential staff member that we're interviewing. I was meeting with her yesterday, and she walked away and said, wow, I didn't realize, we love this place, but I didn't realize how forward thinking you were and are. And that's us. That's what we've been day one, and that's where God has truly given us great favor, and that's what we look at in the future. So we've got a master plan for the future. We have that in not just in the area of facilities, but certainly programming. Where is it that God wants us to be 3 years from now, 5 years from now, in all areas of our ministry here at Faith. So it's a constant moving forward. Sacred cows, we'll serve those up, no problem.
Sure.
Right? We'll eat that steak and move on. But we want to be most effective in what we're about here. Again, this is not our ministry, Steve, it's his. So tying in closely to his calling and what that might look like is paramount to us.
Well, I feel like that, Faith, we know who we are, we know whose we are, and so we're not trying to be, somebody else or another type of school. Like we know, where our strengths are and what God's blessed us with.
Absolutely.
We stay in that lane. Well, along that line, I'm hopeful there's some prospective Grapevine Faith families that are watching, and if there are families that are out there looking for a private Christian school, what would you say to them?
I would tell them the exact thing that penetrated the heart of my wife and I when we went to the first meeting and heard about this school called Faith that wasn't even a school at the time. So we had the privilege of being one of those crazy first families day one with our kids. But what was a selling point when there was absolutely no grounds to work with. We didn't have buildings. We didn't have a desk. We just got in our car after that meeting and we looked at each other and we said, what if? We could just see it, you know? What if there was a school serious about developing and graduating authentic Christian leaders? That's a mouthful, but what if? And so God has continued to bring families of like mind, like heart. Now, we are not perfect. You know, we're flawed, we're broken, but we are very focused in what God has given us to be and to do, as you said so well. And if you want to be a part of something like that, that is bigger than us all, but is God-sized, come on, we welcome you. Yeah.
Well, you know, John, in Matthew 25, Jesus tells the parable of the talents, and at the end of that parable, the master tells the servant, the one who was faithful, said, you know, I put you in charge over a few things, and you were faithful, and I'm going to put you in charge over many things. Enter the joy of your Lord. And when I think about that, I think about you, John, because you blessed so many here at Grapevine Faith, and you've been faithful in what God has charged you to do. We're a better place because of John Brooks. So consider John not only a friend, but a mentor in the faith, and just an amazing guy. So, John, we just really appreciate the time. And again, we're thankful that you're here.
Steve, so am I. I am. Thanks for having me.
You bet.
Appreciate it.
That's VP of Student Development John Brooks here on the Grapevine Faith Sports Network. The second half of Brook Hill and Grapevine Faith coming up next here on the Grapevine Faith Sports Network.
Let's go Lions.
Welcome back to the broadcast here. Steve Anthony alongside, bring our mics up here on the Mixler app. Steve Anthony alongside Jack Wharton. And Jack, impressive first half. For everybody that wants to see Jack Wharton, that is Jack Wharton. If you've never seen him before, he is the man. That nursing home crowd gets to see your golden locks there, man.
Yeah, all I have to do is show up to that nursing home when if April ever left me. I'd have weddings all over the place.
Well, there's some lights behind me from the field behind us, so I'm going to try to use my big noggin to block that. So great interview there with John Brooks for the Stories of Faith. So thankful for him and just all that he's meant to this school and in his new role of Vice President of Student Development. Super thankful for that. So you had some first half stats you wanted to go through with us?
Well, I didn't get a chance to get to all the numbers, but Sobecki had a pretty good first half. Let's just go ahead and say that.
No doubt.
3 rushing touchdowns, 1 passing to Matthew Rotella with the TD. Penalties were, I would say, actually fairly clean for the first game of the year. 4 penalties was not too bad. And I think defensively, we talked about it. I don't know if you had talked about it prior to, but I knew that our line play was going to be probably the weakest point of the whole thing for this year. And I thought they played really well, both offensively and defensive line. So
yeah, no doubt.
I get it.
We need a doorman here to be able to keep the door closed.
It's like a club here.
It's like a nightclub, man. We need a bouncer.
Yeah.
You're gonna have to double as bouncer, Jack.
Yeah.
Well, yeah, impressive showing by Clayton. We talked about this being his first time in a true quarterback position, and they ran some kind of wildcat kind of plays last year a couple of times. They bring him in and direct snap to him, but man, as far as true quarterback responsibility, calling the plays, assessing the defense, making any changes, any sort of changes to the play that they might need to make. He's done a great job. So really impressed with what we've seen from him so far.
I'm getting a signal from Knox Wharton. He'd like to get on the air. So.
All right. So Knox Wharton apparently has got some insight for us. Knox, what do you got for us, buddy?
Student section right now to get more word. I wanted to get some talk from some cheerleaders, but they're all headed to the tunnel. Heading over to the student section now to ask how everyone's feeling again.
Yeah.
Good night for the student section. A lot of students out there.
Yeah, we want to got to remind them that we're on the air, so it's kind of a dangerous thought there, Knox, but we're going to trust you with it. If the FCC pulls our license, I'm blaming you. Knox, what you got, buddy?
I'm here with Garrison.
Oh, now we have
How
found
you
out. Oh,
Yep.
I think we figured out our distance.
Yeah, Knox, we can't hear you. You're too far away, buddy. We can't hear you. You're too far away. You got to come back closer. Well, we'll go back to Knox here here in a little bit.
Okay.
The both teams, or the Brook Hill Guard out on the field, they're in the south end zone stretching, getting ready for the second half. Coach Music back up here in the booth with us, keeping track of things up here and radioing down to the sideline with any updates and formations that he's seen. Here come the Lions.
Yeah, here come the Lions. I don't think the Guard has shown us much as far as changing formations. I honestly think they have circled their whole offense around McCowan and Richardson. And if one of them's off, I don't think either one of them is going to be successful.
I will say this: he is what I think. We've seen him scramble outside the pocket, but I think he's what you would consider a prototypical, pocket passer. I think if you give him time to throw, I think he can pick you apart because he's got weapons besides Richards. The thing is, the Lions have been in such just hot pursuit of him, and he's been chased out. He's running for his life. I mean, he looks like Tony Romo back in the day where he didn't have time to set up and pass. He's running to keep from getting his head taken off.
Yeah,
so
I kind of feel like last year there were a lot more quick, short passes from McCowan, and this year they're looking like they're setting something up. And
yeah.
I think they only had really 2 plays in which I thought that the line was able to hold them that long. So,
yep, I would agree. A couple more shout-outs. Jen Sebecki, that is Clayton Sebecki's aunt. She says she's watching her nephew, Clayton Sebecki, from Chicago. Says, go Lions. So we've had a couple of folks from Austin Bowling out in California, and now Clayton Sebecki's aunt up in Chicago. Jen, glad to have you on the broadcast. Thanks for listening. And, Brittany, got your message. You are more than welcome. Yeah, that was a blessing for me to be able to interview your dad. Brittany, John Brooks' daughter, just texting in through my wife. So, what an honor to be able to interview John Brooks and just, again, talk about the influence he's had here at Grapevine Faith. So the Lions will kick off to start the second half, leading 28-7. Josh Holroyd out to do the honors.
Holroyd's had a pretty good game. Those are the extra points. The 4 extra points have been just drilled.
Yep. Xavier Kendrick and Colton Richards back deep. Oh, there's an onside kick for the Lions. And recovered by the Brook Hill Guard, trying to catch them napping. Jack doesn't like that, but, 28-7, I'm okay with that. Your defense has shown that they can hold them, so why not take a chance, man? What the heck? Jack's got an opinion on that. If you can hear what sounds like a bear groaning, that is Jack Wharton.
Just kick it away. I mean,
hey, if they recover that, you're like, man, that guy's genius.
Maybe, but we'll never know now.
Right?
The other team
Brook Hill
recovered.
Takes over right at midfield. Edwards in the backfield next to McCowan. Snap back. There's a handoff to Edwards, taken around the right end. Finds some blocks. Man, a big run by Edwards, still on his feet. Finally taken down after a gain of about 8 or 9 on that play. Oh, they stopped. Oh, I guess they called him down. I thought it was 8 or 9. Looks like it was a gain of about 6 on the play. Coach Dickert giving some instruction to the defense, trying to shut that thing down. There's another handoff to Richards, brings it up the middle. Big hit there. Jake Ford on the tackle, but not before Richards gets a first down.
Yeah, steady. You're going to see a steady diet of Richardson and short passes is what I'm going to see from McCowan, I would think, in the second half.
We need Richards to get tired, man. That guy, surely, isn't he tired by now? How can he be running so much? There's a snap back to McCown. Another handoff to Richards here coming on this near side. Chased out of bounds by Jake Ford. The penalty flag down. They're going to call that a late hit out of bounds. I don't know about that one, but they were kind of both falling out of bounds there, Jack, in my opinion, but boy, these penalties have been costly. You talked about only a few penalties for the Lions, Jack, but, man, they have been costly. You had a face mask penalty when you had him dead to rights.
This is the second time we've hit Richardson out of bounds, especially on the sidelines. And I think the first time that referee had gotten hit in the play and did not see it also, I think that's why they keyed on this one. I think they've hit him out of bounds before. That's what I would say.
There's your voice of reason, Jack Wharton, ladies and gentlemen.
I've never said that about this. Is a good-looking referee crew. These guys look like they actually work out.
Busted play there, McCown. There's a little pass, a little swing pass here to Richards, and he's taken down. Give me about a 2-yard loss on the play. So kind of a busted play there. McCown tried to make a little lemonade out of lemons, but a little swing pass there to Richards. I don't think that was designed that way, but loss of we'll call it loss of 2 on the play. So 2nd down and 12. Ball spotted at the 23-yard line. Excuse me, the 17-yard line. They're inside the 20. My apologies. 17-yard line of the Lions. Brook Hill trying to score here on their first possession of the second half. Snap back to McCown. Another handoff to Richards around the right side.
Shocker.
Breaks through a tackle. Still on his feet.
God bless.
Still carrying a couple of guys downfield.
That's like a 12-yard gain.
The ball is loose. I think they're going to call him down. Let's see where they give him forward progress. They give him forward progress down to the
that was not a I don't think they designed that play that way, Steve, but
no, I don't think so. Again, folks, if you're listening, we'd love to hear from you. Text us at 817-980-7994. 817-980-7994. I tell you who might be, I don't know, they may be listening in the stands, Jack, and she loves it when we do this. I mean, just absolutely loves this. Tells us like, "Hey, thank you so much."
I saw her.
But Bethany Powers.
Yep.
We got to give a shout out to Bethany.
Yeah, she's standing around there.
First and 10 for the Lions from their own 10-yard line. There's a snap back to Sebecki. He keeps it. Fake pitch to Ben Wagner. He keeps it himself. He's back up the middle there. Finally pulled down, but not until he gets about a 4-yard gain.
2nd 7.
It's going to bring up 2nd down and 6 here.
Obviously, if you're watching what's going on? Oh,
we are.
Obviously, if you're watching the game, Richardson was heavy on that last drive. He only had 1 pass and was lost for 2 yards from.
Yeah, folks, if you're watching on, well, you won't tell. If you're listening on Mixer, you should still be able to hear us. But we got some technical snafus going on here with our cameras. So stand by, trying to get that back on board. Yeah, we've lost video and sound, we're being told. So there we go.
Yeah.
Hopefully we're back up. All right. 3rd down here for the Lions. There's a pass. Got Ben Wagner on the near side. He got tied up there, but incidental contact. So falls incomplete.
4th and 8. 4th and 7.
Oh, thank you so much. We get a check in here. I'm getting corrected. Yeah, Brook Hill running back number 6 is Braxton Durrett. Colton Richards is number 5. So I've been giving Richards to all this credit. Durrett's the one that's been doing all this damage. So thank you for the update. They're checking in from Upland, Indiana at Taylor University. I don't have a name for you, but thank you so much for
That's the Taylor University Knights, Steve.
Yep.
I've just made that up, actually. Just having fun.
Well, let's see if we've got I'm getting reports here that we were there's a punt by Holroyd.
No, it's Wagner.
Oh, covered there. Number 3's got it. He's got a lot of room to run back up the middle of the field. Big hit there in the middle of the field.
A 12-yard return.
Yep, good return. That takes it into Grapevine Faith territory. So the Lions avoided a score by Brook Hill on their last drive when they got down to the 5-yard line, and they turned the ball over, fumbled the ball, and the Lions picked it up. So defense back on the field after a short series by the offense. All right, we're back on line here. So, yeah, my apologies, the family of Braxton Durrett. That guy's been running the ball like crazy, and yeah, I just misread that. I've just misread the roster all night. Braxton Durrett, the junior running back and linebacker for Brook Hill. So apologies, Braxton. You've had a game tonight, man. You can definitely stop. So, all right, here's a handoff.
The
ball's down on the ground.
Oh, pick
picked
it up.
Falling on.
He was down. He had to be down on that one.
Yeah, he's calling. Yes, the line judge here on the near side is calling him down. That was Ben Wagner that fell on that ball. And that's going to be the Lions' ball, 1st and 10 from the Brook Hill 41. So another costly turnover for Brook Hill. Man, big pile up there. But they called. Yeah, Ben fell on the ball. He was down, touched while he was down, which I guess didn't matter. It's not the NFL, right? He just has to be down. So nice play there by Ben Wagner on the recovery. And that's going to give new life here to the Lions offense, give that defense a chance to take a break.
I think Ben saw 6 in front of him.
Yeah.
A little bit of juggling, and then he got out of it.
Yep, coaches always say just fall on it, but, man, when you've got an end zone right in front of you and wide open territory, Brook Hill wants to hear what the decision is. They think the ball was recovered by their team, but he's going to explain to him that Ben Wagner was down on the ground and somebody landed on top of him and it squirted loose, but he had control of the ball on the ground. Scott Riles not liking that explanation at all.
Well, Scott Riles can just take that to the bank.
So, again, our score 28-7 here in the third quarter, 6:43 left on the clock. Lions scored in their first 3 possessions. And Brook Hill was able to score just before the end of the half, as did the Lions, with just about 14 seconds left on the clock.
I think these refs are going to get together and make sure they all saw the same thing. I believe he was down, had possession, and then fell down.
Yeah,
that's my opinion.
Well, all right. Oh, okay, they're sending them back. I'm not sure what's.
No joke. This was the best looking crew I've seen in about 3 years on this,
yeah,
as far as physicality looks.
Yep, no doubt.
I think they're in shape.
Yeah, the referee has sprinted back and forth across the field, so I've seen him move. The line judge on this near sideline, who was the closest official to the play, was vehemently signaling that the runner was down. But they're having a powwow right now just to making sure they get it right.
Well, I think there's a question of whether or not Wagner had possession when he went down when his knee hit the ground.
Yeah.
And I think that's the only thing you can talk about on this. And if they all saw the same thing, I think somebody would have raised their hand before now.
Yep. This doesn't look good. If the official's coming over to talk to Bobby Holland, makes me think that Brook Hill is going to take possession of the ball. But let's see what happens. I hope I'm wrong. The Lions' offense is still on the field. The Brook Hill defense is still on the field. So. Coach Holland and the official talking it over. The other group of officials are still out there, and that line judge is trying to explain to him, hey, here's what I saw. I saw him down.
Coach Hogan would have been blowing a gasket right now if this was going the other direction. Oh, they are. They're walking. Looks like the defense is coming back out.
Yep. Well, wanted to be wrong, but I wasn't. Coach Ware not happy at all. And Coach Hall had to talk him off the ledge and send him down before he got flagged. So Brook Hill is going to keep the ball, unfortunately. Unfortunately, if you're a Lions fan, obviously. I think we have a couple Brook. I'm trying to be objective here, Jack.
I was going to say,
listening.
The last couple of years, I said this is the worst call in America, but I believe that actually may have been the correct call. So
we're being told it was an inadvertent whistle. Trey Dickert's going to. He's given a couple of thoughts to the officiating crew.
Not having Trey Dickert up here is good for us. We don't have quite the pause button.
Yeah, the line judge on this side. If I'm a coach here for Faith, he's got to explain to me how he adamantly pointed down that the ball was down. He turned around and asked for a ball.
We started at the 45, and now they've got a first down. Did somebody recover it and was down on his knee?
I guess. I'm not sure what. So here's McCowan back to pass, rolls to his right. Has good protection. To pass down, complete to number 18 inside the 25-yard line. Boy, it seems like, Jack, man, we, again, kind of step our own tail with the big costly penalty. And this case wasn't a penalty. Again, the turnover we couldn't pick up, which I thought we did. But
I really don't know what happened there. That's the strangest thing. I guess we could go back to the video. We heard an inadvertent whistle, but why would it be a 5-yard loss? I don't understand.
Yeah, I'm not sure why they spotted it where they did. There's a handoff to number 6.
Durrett,
yes. I got to get at least I'll get the number right. I may not get the name right, but I almost called him Burnett. But, yeah, Durrett.
timeout on the
There's
field.
a
player. There's
player
an injured
down.
there.
Yep,
Faith
looks like
player.
a Grapevine Faith player down.
It's like a 9-yard gain out of that.
Trying to see who
I can't see a number. I can't see.
Brook Hill staff out there quickly trying to help.
I think it looks like a cramp. There's no Brook Hill staff out there, by the way.
Yeah, the Brook Hill trainers has got his
Oh,
leg.
okay.
Yeah. Jeez, man. Give me a little credit, Jack.
There's no assist. That looks like a cramp.
I may be dumb, but I'm ugly. So, Vaughn Dawson from Brook Hill class of 23. He's a freshman safety at Taylor University. He's the cousin of Braxton. So, yeah, Vaughn, I don't blame you, buddy, for wanting to make sure your cousin gets credit for all these yards he's picking up. So, Vaughn, great for appreciate you listening. Thanks for reaching out to us, and great to have you on the broadcast. So, try to give Durrett as much credit as we can.
Maybe we should get Knox. Maybe we should get Knox. He wanted to talk to the cheerleaders. I don't know why. Why would a young male like to talk to the cheerleaders?
Want to talk to a cheerleader? I have no idea.
Who is that? I can't see. They're cramping.
Yeah, but it's definitely a cramp. So that's we'll try to get a number for you here on the injured player. Let me see if I can get a hold of Knox. Knox, you got your ears on. Can you hear me?
Oh, he's moving. No, he's not moving. Oh, he is moving. He's got to get to work. He's
all right.
there
Yeah,
shooting the
we're paying you
breeze.
the big bucks, buddy. You got to give us something here. We got an injured player down. He's got a cramp. You want to talk to one of the cheerleaders right now? All right. Yeah.
You don't have to ask him twice.
I am with senior cheerleader Cameron O'Rear. How are you feeling tonight, Cameron?
Strong start in the beginning, and we're keeping that lead, and everyone's doing a good job. Really high.
That's good to hear. That's good to hear. Cheerleading's going well?
Yes, it's going great. We're having lots of fun, bringing the energy and keeping the energy up in the stands.
That's awesome to hear. Awesome to hear. Thank you, Cameron.
Yep, Cameron O'Rear. She's amazing. Love her. Great family. All right, so that was Nathan Triggerstead who had the cramp. Brook Hill now 2nd down and 2. There's another handoff to Durrett. And he plows forward for about a yard, so it's going to bring up a big 3rd down and 1 play.
If that young man from Taylor is listening, I'd like to know what the nickname is of Taylor University. I like to keep track of that stuff.
Yes,
Steve.
you do, yeah. So, yeah, Vaughn Dawson, Brook Hill, he graduated this past year. He's playing freshman safety at Taylor University. What is the mascot for Taylor up
Vaughn
there
Dawson,
in
private investigator.
Upland, Indiana? Big 3rd down play here, 3rd and 1. The snap back to McCown, handoff to Durrett. He cuts back towards the middle of the field. Plenty of yardage for the 1st down. Stumbles inside the 10-yard line. And that's going to move the marker inside the 10. It's going to be 1st down and goal from the 8-yard line.
That was a good run by Durrett. He's a good runner. I mean, I really think this Richards has been around for a lifetime, but Durrett, Richards has been around for a lifetime.
Yeah.
He's a senior.
Yeah, so Richards is split out here to the far side. Durrett's been in the backfield all night. I have no idea what I've been thinking, so apologies to the Durrett family. There's Durrett
man.
right up the middle, untouched for a touchdown.
My goodness.
Wow. So 28-13 now. 4 minutes, 57 seconds left here in the 3rd quarter. And here comes Brook Hill with that very odd formation. And they're looking to see if they're going to try to make 2 out of this, or if they're going to, nope, they're going to bring the lineman over and they're going to kick it. Always looking to see if the opposing team is not matched up properly, if they can either just walk into the end zone or pass it. But 1-point attempt. Lions try to get in and block it, but they don't, so the kick is good. So it's 28-14 with 4:57 left. And the Brook Hill Guard have made this a 2-score game now. A 2-touchdown game, I guess I should say.
Wagner's cramping.
Got another player down on the field with a cramp. It's Ben Wagner.
Gotta drink that pickle juice, Steve.
No doubt.
Which it's almost counterintuitive. I guess the salt helps. I don't know. It
I don't
doesn't
know.
make any sense.
So last year, Jack, who was that had all the grandparents listening? Remember who that was?
They lived in Jacksonville, South Carolina. No, Jacksonville, Alabama. The Gamecocks of Jacksonville State.
Yes.
Right? Is that correct?
Arkansas.
No, the one in they were in the Mississippi.
Mississippi, yes.
Yes, outside of Pearl, maybe Madison, maybe.
But whose family was that? You remember?
No.
That was.
It was the linebacker, right?
Yes. Golly, I can't remember his name. Somebody on the broadcast will remind us. Anyway, this year it's Clayton Sebecki. His Mimi Grandma Sebecki tuned in from McKinney, and she's in the AC. So, Mimi, you were one smart lady.
Yeah.
You were not out here suffering in the heat with everybody. But
don't act like we're out there with the common
well, we're
folk.
not. No.
Yeah, we're in the air conditioning too, Steve. So let's not overstate our comfort zone.
So, Jack, Von Dawson texts back. It is the Taylor University Trojans.
Oh,
the Taylor. There's one to add to your repertoire.
I'll go back into the memory bank on that one.
Jack is a wealth of useless information,
Absolutely.
and it is all the mascots from the most some of the smaller colleges.
Yeah.
But man, Taylor University up there in Indiana. Vaughn, appreciate the text back, buddy.
Hendricks University, the Warriors of Hendricks they've got a scrimmage tonight up there in Conway, Arkansas.
Well, the Lions now, with that cramp, Ben Wagner is not back to receive. So how about freshman Jace Walker back there with Clayton Sebecki? Jace had the first play from scrimmage last night in the JV game. Jace caught a
Who's back there?
Jace Walker. Yeah, the freshman.
Oh, okay.
Britt and Julie Walker's boy. Yeah, man.
He doesn't look like a freshman from here, Steve.
His first play from scrimmage, right? His first play from scrimmage was a little wide receiver screen, and he took that thing to the house. There's a kick way back. Jace catches about the 2. He's going to bring it out. Brings it back to the middle of the field, looking to pick up some blocks.
Whoa!
He's out of his field. He's out. He's over the 40 to the 45. There's a penalty flag down.
Holding down.
Wow. What a great return by Jace Walker. That play's going to come back, unfortunately, but holy cow, what a return. Got to love that, man. These guys get an opportunity to go out there and play and make the most of it.
Wow. That was some speed, actually. I'm impressed.
Yeah, Jace is quick, man. Yep, that play's going to come back, unfortunately. I would assume it would, based on where the flag was thrown. Yeah, it's going to be a hold on the Lions.
I can't hear this here. Am I plugged in? Am I plugged in over there?
What do you want, Derek?
Yeah, we got you. Say something, Jack.
Oh, no, I've lost hearing is all I've lost. So.
You were accusing me of losing my eyesight earlier.
Yeah. What?
Well, yeah, unfortunately, again, a costly penalty for the Lions. It takes it back to their own 35, so it's not horrible field position, but it's not in Brook Hill territory where Jace's great run back brought him to. Lions trying to get a few extra personnel off the field here now. So Michael Alford in the backfield, 2 receivers split to each side. Snap back to Sebecki. It's a handoff. Nope, Clayton keeps it, trying to find some running room. He's out over the left side, down the sideline. Gets hit just shy of the first down marker.
Ooh, that's going to be close.
Big hit there, and Brook Hill, that's enough for a first down. So Brook Hill was celebrating a big hit, but Sebecki just got up and looked at him and said, first down, next. So you like to see that, Jack. They've last series offensively, they didn't really look that strong. Looked like they couldn't quite get settled. And but you like Clayton there. He was patient enough, just waiting for some blocks to materialize and some holes to open up. He did some of that on his own as well with a little shake and bake.
You know, I think last year, almost now we're watching this, you almost had too much pressure on the passing game last year from the cross. I mean, almost everybody knew what you were doing on every play.
Yep.
You know? And this has got everybody a little more confused.
Yep. I like that. Yeah, keep them confused, keep them off guard. Another keeper by Clayton Sebecki, and another gain of we'll call it 7 yards, yeah, out to inside to Brook Hill territory. Ball spotted at the 48-yard line. Michael Alford in the backfield again with Sebecki. Yep, they get Brook Hill offside. This is going to be a free play. Here's a pass down to the near side. The pass is intercepted, but that play is going to come back. And that result of that penalty should be a first down for the Lions. Yep, offside, sure enough. So the result of that is a first down.
I don't know that I keep giving Sebecki the ability to have a free play.
So 1st and 10 for the Lions, going to keep the drive alive here. 3 minutes, 30 seconds left here in the third quarter. Lions leading 28-14. The Brook Hill Guard scored on the last possession, and now the Lions, after that kickoff, are driving. Again, Alford in the backfield with Sebecki. There's a handoff to Alford. Man, blast forward for the gain of about 7 or 8. Wow. Big carry there by Michael Alford. Again, for a kid who's never played running back, or if he has, I'd love to know if he maybe played. He may have played when he was younger, Jack, but he was so big that they wouldn't, let him suit up. Early on, if you're too big, they won't give you that, let you run the ball. But, yeah, man, that's Alford impressive. There's a Brook Hill Guard player down, also cramping. Yeah, just to be expected tonight on a hot summer night, Jack.
Hey, if you want to go down to Knox real quick, he's in the fake student section, I think is what he said. I don't know what that means.
Well, the question is he close enough? Oh, I see him. Okay. So we're going to try to go down to Knox Wharton, our sideline reporter. Knox, what you got, buddy? Yeah, Knox, we can't hear you, man. We can't hear you.
Yeah.
Now I got you.
Now you have me?
Yep, we can hear you.
Williams. Sounds like you.
Boy, I think we're getting
kind of cutting in and out, Knox. We have to come closer to home base over here. Yeah, but some excited Lions fans down there in the fake student section, apparently.
Okay. Try it now. We're trying to sample out our wireless mic and see if we can get back to him.
All right, we're going to go down to Knox Wharton. Knox, you got another crew down there with you? Go ahead, buddy.
I have Evan Boney here with me from the junior class. How are we feeling tonight, Evan?
I'm trying to use the restroom right now.
Dude, oh my.
Yeah, don't know what that was, but we'll go back to you, Knox, here. Back to the action here. So the Brook Hill Guard is up. All right. Yep. So the Lions second down, and after that last run by Michael Alford, second down, we'll call it 4. Clock running with 3:07 left here in the third quarter. Lions leading 28-14. Snap back to Sebecki. Pass here to the near side to Noah Smith. Falls incomplete.
Oh, that's a late hit, and that was unnecessary. But
ball went through his hands, and he was hit there by Carlton Afford, but no penalty flag thrown.
And that was very close to being backward, too, by the way.
Yeah, that was close to backward lateral. A little bit high throw there to Noah Smith, but
8 yards off.
all right. So big third down play here for the Lions. See if they can keep this drive alive. Again, familiar lineup here. Yes. Michael Alford shifts to the other side. Sebecki on the keeper. Finds a hole up the middle. Comes on the right side. Still on his feet. Breaks through.
Oh, that was ground.
Yeah.
That was ground.
Yeah. Well, again, we have 3 officials, now 4 officials signaling down, but who knows? I think they might end up having another conference. So I'm just kidding. Good run there by Clayton Sebecki to get that first down. So
man, that was a tough run, too.
Yep. For his size, Jack, I mean, he looks like a basketball player. He's tall, kind of lanky. Again, he's so blazing fast. He doesn't look like a physical runner, but tonight he's had some physical runs.
Yeah, I mean, he's athletic. I mean, he's the D1 signee with Air Force. I mean, there was no reason why he's not going to be able to do both these positions. I mean, I'd like to see if we get some time with our backup quarterback and maybe get Sebecki at the slot position or even the wideout.
There's a handoff to Alford on the inside where the ball is down, picked up by Brook Hill. Number 18, Clayton Sebecki on the tackle out at midfield. And there's players down.
Flag
Got
down.
an injured player down. Yep.
Flag down.
Oh, there's a flag down on the play as well.
I bet that's going to be a hold on Brook Hill.
Oh, after the fumble? Post possession?
Correct.
Okay. It looks like a cramp. Looks like the way they're holding his leg. Ashley's down, the trainer's down there holding him like it's a cramp. Clayton put a big hit on him. Clayton was not happy with the turnover. Well, unfortunate play there. Turnover again by the Lions. Costly turnovers. It's just the wrong time, and penalties have just been. And again, they're still up 28-14, so they're still in command of this game. But You'd like to see them clean up some of this. Injured player for Brook Hill was number 16, Marcelo Martinez, junior linebacker. So he's kind of limping off on his own power, cramping up after that play. Coach Holland out talking to the defense and probably give them instructions. We got to shut this down. We got to play shutdown defense and get a turnover or force them to punt. This is one of those games, Jack, you just don't want Brook Hill to hang around and still be in this thing in the fourth quarter.
Yeah, you've done all the heavy lifting. You should be, I feel like this has been a dominant game by the Faith Lions. This turnover and that penalty really did hurt. The third down penalty hurt, or what an unexplained call or an unintentional whistle. So I don't know what we got here.
Yeah, we'll try to figure out. The official's going to try to explain to the coaches what this was. The Lions defense is on the field, so we assume that the turnover will stand. So get some sort of explanation. So there's a personal foul penalty against the Lions. That penalty's declined. Another personal foul penalty. Oh, they're offsetting. Okay. So personal foul penalty against the Lions, personal foul penalty against the Brook Hill Guard after the possession. So it was after the fumble.
Well, now why are they walking it off?
I don't know. If it was offsetting, I think the Brook Hill Guard's asking the same thing. Like, wait a minute. If this was offsetting, why are we walking this ball back? So, your guess is as good as mine.
Well, was it a block in the back, perhaps? And then a dead ball penalty? That doesn't make any sense.
Normally he would say he would signal both. He'd signal personal foul against one team, personal foul against the other, and then do the offsetting signal. All right, 1st and 10 from the 13-yard line. There's a handoff to Durrett. He finds a hole over on the right side. He's out over the 20-yard line, so gain of about 6 on the play. Brook Hill quick to the line of scrimmage. They're wanting to kind of hurry up offense.
I would.
The Lions trying to get set here. Another handoff to Durrett over on the right side, being pursued to see if he makes the edge. He does make the edge. He's knocked out of bounds, but not until he makes a big run. And that's going to move the chains for another first down, Brook Hill Guard.
That was a good run.
Yeah, the Lions have not found an answer for Durrett yet around the edge on either side. They've been picking on that right side most of the night, but he's kind of had his way kind of wherever he's gone. There's Durrett up the middle.
It's almost like the coaching staff may have made a wrong call on what they thought they were going to do tonight for Brook Hill.
Corbin Irwin in on the tackle there for the Lions.
Corbin's had a good night tonight despite the injury.
Yep, glad to see him popped up. He got back in there. 1 yard gain on the play from Durrett, so 2nd down and 9. Ball spotted at the 29-yard line. 1 minute, 16 seconds left here in the third quarter. Clock running. Lions leading 28-14. There's a snap back to McCown. Rolls to his left. Pressure by Hayden Jobe. Throws the ball way up in the air. Throws it out of bounds. I thought that ball was still in play. That might be up for grabs. So the ball falls incomplete. McCown running for his life there. Can you just kind of wonder, Jack, why they would go on a 2nd down and long play, why they would go away from what's been so successful for them, and that's running the football with Durrett.
Yeah, Durrett's had a great second half.
So big 3rd down play here. Clock stop with 1:06 left here in the third quarter.
Thank you.
They're going to change the play up here at the line of scrimmage. Again, Durrett in the backfield. 2 receivers split to each side for McCowan. Checks his wristband one more time. And a timeout called by Brook Hill. They were running out of time there on the play clock. So they
still don't have the play clock up on the north end.
Yeah, they actually take them both down. I think since one's been out for each team, for one team, they didn't want to have it available for the other. So, yeah, all right. So minute 6 left here in the third quarter. Brook Hill forced to take a timeout. We'll see if that ends up costing them later on.
Yes.
Lions leading 28-14. Clayton Sebecki with a big night as quarterback with a lot of great runs, couple touchdown passes. Michael Offord, Matthew Rotella, Kirschbaum with some big scores. Ben Wagner contributing for sure. Yeah, a little bit of emotion there on the Lions sideline. Some frustration kind of setting in. I think Clayton wants to get that ball back and take it down the field and score.
Did he say what happened with the exchange?
I think I see Parker Barley on the sideline tonight, Jack.
No.
Graduated last year.
Tarleton State.
Played at Tarleton
great.
State,
Yeah.
Yep. Farmers. All right, big third down
Texans.
play. 3rd and 9.
Texans,
Texans, excuse me.
not the Farmers.
I thought it was a Farmer. Oh, I'm thinking Stephen F. Austin maybe.
No, they're the Lumberjacks.
I'm just testing you. Here's a pass here on the near sideline, and it is
Nice.
caught complete. Tries to stay in bounds. That's number 18 who was injured earlier. Excuse me, that's Blake Witten. Apologies. Martinez is what I was thinking of, number 16. So Witten, pass complete, enough for a first down, out over the 40-yard line. Clock stop with 1 minute, 1 second left here in the third quarter. Low snap, hand off to Durrett. And thought his knee might have been down after he got that ball, but no play, no whistle blown.
Nope.
So about a 6-yard gain there for Durrett.
Now they're going quick.
Hurry up offense again for the guard. There's Durrett again. Big stop, big hit there. Corbin Irwin coming in with a big stop. Love seeing it.
I think Corbin Irwin said, "I'm done with this."
Yes, he's a little fed up
Want to
there.
run that ball in the middle, you're going to have to go through me.
Trying to go quick.
All right, so loss of 1 on the play. Well, no, they're going to bring it back up. It's a no gain on the play. 3rd and 4.
Read your keys.
Let's see if the guard get a playoff here before the third quarter ends. 12 seconds left here in the third quarter. Snap back to McCown. Hand off to Durrett up the middle. Stumbles forward, still on his feet. Breaks a couple tackles. Finally taken down inside of Grapevine Faith Lions territory, and that is enough for a first down. So that'll be the last play of the third quarter. And, boy, Jack, the Lions are going to have to find an answer for that.
Yeah, he's just running it right up the gut.
Well, that's going to be the end of the third quarter, and our score 28-14. Your Lions on top of the Brook Hill Guard, but, again, they are making this a game, sticking around and kind of pesky.
Well, that's a great little 7-yard run by Durrett. I mean,
we'll go down to Knox Wharton. Knox on the sideline. Any updates, or you're going to try to talk to another cheerleader? What are you doing?
what? I don't understand what's going on with that. He's right.
Cool. You might be able to hear it.
Yeah, there you go.
Yeah, now we got you.
Go.
Yeah, go ahead, Knox. What you got, bud?
Yeah, there's been a lot of talk on the sideline about our talk during the game. Apparently there's some players on our team chirping about the scoreboard, but they're coming back, so we really got to lock in and make a play in this fourth quarter.
Yep, I agree with you, Knox. They need to focus on the game at hand and not worry about the scoreboard or talking trash. So appreciate Knox' little insight there, some commentary, keeping his ear to the ground down there on the sideline. So here's Brook Hill now headed towards the north end zone. Start of the fourth quarter. Lions leading 28-14. Brook Hill 1st and 10 from the Lions' 46-yard line. Snap back to McCown. He's looking to pass. Look on the far sideline. He's got a receiver down the sideline. And the ball is incomplete, out of bounds. Good coverage there. It was intended for number 3.
I want to get a
Xavier
quick shout out. Mitch Watson listening out of Lubbock. Good Red Raider out there.
Mitch Watson.
No relation to the school, just a relation to the big Jack Wharton here.
Oh, Jack, we lost our feed again. For crying out loud, what is going on, man?
Oh, audio or both?
No, it's just huh. Oh, yeah, we need to, somebody didn't keep the recording going.
Oh no.
So we need Coach Ware to turn that thing back on.
He's kind of busy right now, I think.
He is a little busy.
Yeah.
Yeah, if you're watching on YouTube, we understand that you're only seeing the orange huddle screen. We apologize. We'll keep you posted here as if you're listening on Mixler. So 3rd down and 4. Ball spotted at the 39-yard line. Snap back to McCown. Inside handoff to Durrett. Got a lot of running room. Out over inside the 35-yard line. That's enough for a first down. You see some frustrated Lions, Jack. They just can't quite seem to find an answer for him.
No, I mean, this is a key part of the game as well. I mean, you're up 2 touchdowns. But you let them back in this ball game. Really, just one mistake and you let them back in this ball game.
I'm trying to get the huddle camera turned back on. I've texted who I know, so we'll see if somebody can turn it on. So 1st and 10 for Brook Hill inside the 35. There's a play action by McCowan. Pass intended for number 1.
No.
And there is a late hit. Well, that's going to be another costly penalty on the Grapevine Faith Lions. Roughing the passer on this one. So another 15-yard penalty. You had 2nd and 10 coming up, Jack, and now it's going to take the ball inside the 20, close to the 20-yard line here. Let's see what where they spot it. But, man, a costly penalty for the Lions. Unnecessary, Jack, really.
Unneeded.
I guess there's going to be some run-in on Monday, if I had to guess.
I might wake them up tomorrow morning.
That penalty just absolutely shoots themselves in the foot. So Brook Hill threatening to score here. There's a handoff to number 35, new running back, still on his feet. Stumbles forward, close to the 10-yard line. That is who? Oh, that's Watley. Yeah, that's the kid that's the running back from last night. That kid ran all over the field in the 2nd and 3rd quarter last night in the JV game. He only played 2 quarters, so that's why he's suited up here. There's a big hit there. Boy, a big stop. Let's get you a number of that. Trevor Williams with a big hit there, big stop. So brings up a big 3rd down play now.
It's got to feel pretty good when you get a hit like that, Steve.
Yeah, no doubt. They brought Durrett back in the game. Yeah, Durrett, man, is just, I guess they gave him just a couple of plays off, but that kid has been absolutely eating them alive. I don't want to see what kind of stats he's got after this game. There's another handoff to Durrett on the inside. Big hit. Hit initially by number 66, Trevor Williams.
Yeah, you gave up 5 yards to Watley on the first play, and now 2 stops of no gain. Now you're left with 4th and 5 from the 15-yard line. I think you're going to see them go for it here. So let's see what they do.
Another cramp on the field. Another Grapevine Faith Lion player down with a cramp. So that'll give both teams a second to rest and catch their breath. So coming up next week for the Grapevine Faith Lions, they will be on the road at the Woodlands Christian Academy in the Woodlands, Texas, down by Houston. We'll be making that trek down there. Be bringing you the game on both Mixler and the YouTube channel here for Grapevine Faith. Appreciate you listening in tonight.
Always reminds me of a game out in Lubbock one time when we had played Houston at home, and they brought the Gatlin brothers out there for a halftime entertainment, Steve. And they started playing Houston, and some of the fans said something offensive after they'd get to the Houston, and then it was offensive language after that. So.
Well, we're not going to say that on the air. This
no,
is
not down in the Woodlands,
program
but
here.
that always reminds me of people when they talk
about
about
I got
Houston.
you, about Houston, yes. Well, we're back on. Folks, apologize for the loss of the huddle signal there, but we're back online, so hopefully you're able to see the game. Lions had a costly roughing the passer penalty, so now it's 4th down, though. That was earlier in the drive, so 4th down, big 4th down play here. 4th down and 5.
Coaches trying to get the fans fired up.
Clock running here with just 9.5 minutes left in the game.
Got to get a stop here, Steve. I know that's Captain Obvious.
Yeah, need a big stop here on 4th down. This would be huge.
Scott and Lisa Kidwell out in Midland, Texas, listening tonight. Big listener from last year. Scott participating in the MIT at Midland Country Club today.
There's McCown looking to pass right across the middle. Almost picked off. Is in for the touchdown.
Oh, man.
I don't know who was on the coverage there. They almost got inside leverage. And, I thought for sure that ball looked like it was picked off, but they somehow were able to pick it up.
My goodness.
So, again, Brook Hill looking to see if the Lions have everything matched up.
This is a little bit what you saw last night in the JV game, Steve, correct?
Yeah, the JV game, the Lions went up 28-0 and thought the game end of the second quarter, thought this game's over. And then Brook Hill stormed back and made it a one-score game, and finally the Lions pulled away in the fourth quarter, won it 40-21. Snap is good, kick is up,
Twice. Yep.
and it is good.
Man.
So back to a one-score game here, 28-21. The Lions still leading. 9 minutes, 10 seconds left. So, Jack, they're going to need to put together a sustainable drive. Let's eat some clock up and take it down and punch it in for another score.
Well, I think this is where you got your team hyped up and make sure that you don't give up an onside kick at this juncture.
Yep.
I doubt that they're going to call that because they've got plenty of time on the clock.
Brad Sobecki watching from Atlanta. That's
Is there
Clayton's
anybody
uncle.
that's not a Sobecki? That's
I'm telling you,
tonight?
he's got the most fans without question. Brad, Brad was the one that alerted us that the huddle camera feed was down, so we appreciate that, Brad. I'm guessing that's Matt's brother, if I'm doing the math right. I mean, I'm not the smartest guy in the planet, but I think I got that right. All right, so here's Brook Hill to kick off. We'll see if they've got anything up their sleeve. They've been known to kick it on. I can't imagine they're going to kick it onside
I mean,
here, obviously.
You got 9 minutes left.
Yeah.
They've played a lot better in the second half. I think they're just going to kick it away and try to stop Faith.
Yeah, they've had good ball control. Again, the Lions have had costly turnovers and penalties. They've just shot themselves in the foot that have kept Brook Hill in this game. So they've got to clean up here and make this a clean 9 minutes, 10 seconds here to finish this game out.
Boy, they really do come up with the trickeration, though.
They kind of bunch up. There's a kind of a line drive kick. Could have bounced short. Widener picks it up at the 13-yard line. He cuts towards the middle of the field looking for a block. Takes it to the far sideline. Cuts it back up the middle. Still on his feet. Stumbles out over the 35-yard line. So pretty good return there. 1st and 10. About the 35, 36-yard line.
I think this is one of those series you really just got to grind out a couple first downs, eat some clock, and then also get a score.
Yeah, you want to see a sustainable drive here.
What you got?
Eat some clock up. Keep the ball on the ground. I'm wondering if they're keen on Sobecki now.
Oh man, they're putting a bunch of guys
Here's
in the
Sobecki
box.
here with a run on the near side of a big hole.
Doesn't matter.
Cuts
He's
looking
looking
for a block, doing it on his own. There goes Sobecki inside Brook Hill territory. Big run by Clayton to the 40-yard line. Clayton picked up a couple of blocks, so he did a lot of that on his own, Jack. That was a great run.
Yeah.
1st and 10.
Colton Richards on the tackle for Brook Hill.
20-yard gain.
Yeah, you got a 20-yard gain. The clock is still running, and you're moving. You're inside Brook Hill territory. So that's exactly what you want to see on the first play of a series like that after Brook Hill just punched it in. Again, 28-21, 8 minutes, 30 seconds left in the game. Clayton Sobecki, hand off to Michael Alford. Hit immediately. Big penetration there by Brook Hill. And that's going to be a loss of 1 on the play.
Alford almost looked like he didn't know he was getting the ball there.
Yeah, there was a little breakdown there on the outside contain, and Brook Hill came in and pancaked Alford right away, right when he got the ball. So, fortunately, there was no turnover. I don't know who we need to thank for the quesadillas that they brought to us, but, man, we sure appreciate it from the food truck here, Grapevine Faith.
SoCal
Second
Tacos,
down and 11.
Steve.
Pass to the far side, number 4. Still on his feet. Oh, big tackle there.
Fumbled it.
No, ball, looked like it was
Called him down.
Yeah, ball was down. Nathan Triggerstead with the reception.
Triggs hurt.
We got a player down. Let's go down to Knox Wharton to see if he's got any updates for us on anything. Knox?
Coach Ashley did not like the way that one. It looked pretty bad to me, too. He kind of flipped.
Who? Triggerstad?
Yeah, talking about Nathan, I'm guessing.
It was it was Nathan Trigstead. Yes, sir.
Yeah. All right, so the Lions going to face a 3rd and 7. Again, we just don't know this is another cramp or is this another type of injury. We've seen a lot of folks down the field tonight for both teams.
Yeah, I mean, it's hot, Steve.
Yep.
I tried to play golf in this. I'd cramp up as well.
Jack, that's why you only play on days that end in Y.
I think I might get down early next week, Steve. Maybe try to slide it around before that Woodlands Christian game. Some good golf courses down there I don't get to visit very often.
Plains Capital, they've got branches down there.
We sure do.
So it looks like a cramp for Nathan. He's up walking off his own power. So interesting here, Jack, to see what happens because it's 3rd down. You wonder, is this 4-down territory? Or do you punt, make them go the length of the field?
Right now, I think our special teams game is a little questionable. But I also think you got a better running game with Sobecki and throwing game with Sobecki.
Sobecki looking to pass, so kind of pumps it, goes right up the middle. He's got the 1st down. That's a great play by Clayton Sobecki. Great call, Derek Ware.
He's at about the 25 far hash.
They had Sobecki, and he just pump faked to pass, like he dropped back to do a little in route, a slant route to one of the receivers. He just tucked it and ran it.
Now here what you do is just give it off to Alfred for 3 plays, try to get them color timeouts, I think is what you do, and then or 2 plays for that matter, and just hope they bust one and then keep it in Sobecki's hands or for the 3rd down play.
Yeah, Brook Hill had to call a timeout early in the second half, early in the 3rd quarter. We talked about if that might come back to haunt them. They've only got 2 timeouts left. Alford's still in the backfield. Here's Wagner in motion. A little pitch to Wagner.
Call there.
Pick up a block. He cuts it back to the middle of the field. Tackle finally inside the 15-yard line. And another 1st down for Grapevine Faith.
That was a really good call there.
Yep. Again, they're mixing it up enough just to keep Brook Hill guessing.
Yes, sir.
Love that. Clock running, 6 minutes, 25 seconds left in the game. Grapevine Faith leading 28-21. They're driving. Ball spotted at the Brook Hill 15-yard line.
You want me to watch that back, Judge? You got 10. You got 10.
10 seconds left on the play clock. Alford moves to his right. Keeper by Sobecki. Hit the backfield, but he gets forward for a couple. And that keeps the clock running, Jack. And you're running north-south, which I like.
Yeah. And you can be, I mean, even now you're going to be under, the time Brook Hill gets back, if you go for a 4th down, that's going to be under 4 minutes. But, I mean, obviously we're in the red zone.
Jack, I know you were saying to yourself, hey, there's not enough Sobeckis watching. Is there any more? You better believe it. Kate Sobecki is watching from Chesapeake, Virginia, who says, go Lions.
All right.
It's going to be faster if we tell the Clayton Sobecki family members who are not watching or listening. There's another pitch to Wagner here on a end around, looking to find a block, cuts back upfield, and nice gain there, close to a 1st down, Jack.
Yep.
See where they spot it. They spotted it about the 6-yard line.
It's going to be 3rd and inches.
3rd down and 1.
1st and goal on the 6. On the 6.
3rd down.
So 3rd down,
Or
1.
It's 3rd and short. 3rd and short, Derek. I'm sorry.
Ball spot at the 6-yard line here.
Well, this is exactly the kind of drive you wanted out of this.
Man, no doubt. You got to hold on to the ball here, punch it in. There's Sobecki with the keeper right up the gut. He's in there. Let's see, there's no signal. Touchdown, Grapevine Faith.
Sorry, Derek. What was that?
Man, we talked about this, Jack. They needed to come out, put together a sustainable drive, eat time off the clock, and score, and that's exactly what they did. And Clayton Sobecki is going to sleep well tonight. That kid has done just about everything asked of him, and his first game in at quarterback, and, man, you see what Air Force is getting next year. What a value, what a treasure he is.
Yeah, he's been all over the field tonight, rushing, throwing. Sold popcorn at halftime. I went over there to get some popcorn. He was selling popcorn over there.
Knox, can you hear me? Hey, I want you to see if you can. We're going to keep talking, but I want you to see after the game if you can get
Clayton Sebecki for an interview. They're all going to go to the middle of the field. They're going to pray together and all that stuff. We'll keep talking and kind of keep some kind of recapping the game. But see if you can catch him coming off the field. But you need to do it around the 50-yard line, okay?
I'm looking down at Clayton. He looks like he maybe wore out. Had a good game today, though.
Did you hear anything I said?
I guess there's a couple of other big ball games going on in the state. Midland High 39, El Paso Montwood 14. That's just giving you some stats from across the state.
You got money on that game, don't you, Jack?
Well, I was sure the Bulldogs have lost their starting quarterback, safety. Basically, they're on their second string across the board.
Well, again, a very impressive night tonight. Jack, for about the 25th time, has unplugged the MacBook.
It's a gigantic plug.
Do
we really need it?
Do we really need it? It's just powering our computer, Jack. I don't think
Well,
so.
I mean, it's kind of fully charged, probably.
Do we need this power cord? Oh, my gosh, that's funny. Yeah, so again, man, just impressive night, impressive showing from Grapevine Faith. And despite some of the mistakes they've made, Jack, with some turnovers and some costly penalties, still give credit to the defense coming up with some stops when they had to have them.
You know, I think what I've liked about this offense so far, it's a lot of ball control, despite the fact that it's kind of a pro set offense with it's set up for throwing, but there's been a ton of rushing tonight.
Yeah.
But it keeps the clock running, which is good.
Well, they've shown a lot of different looks from that same formation. And, again, you've got a lot of different weapons. And, again, give credit to Michael Offord and Matthew Rotella Kirschbaum, who have not played running back before this year, to my knowledge. And they've been put in those roles. So, impressive job by the both sides on the ball tonight. 4 minutes, 41 seconds left. The Lions leading 35-21 here in their season opener under new head coach Bobby Holland.
Yeah, and on that last drive, Steve, it was a 4 minute, 19-second drive, which is great. I mean, that's a pretty good, sustainable drive, time-wise.
We're going to try to get an interview with Clayton Sebecki after the game, so encourage everybody to hang tight if they can, and we'll try to provide some stats, a little recap here. Holroyd to kick. Ball all the way back to the goal line. Big kick there. Taken on the far sideline up the seam and still on his feet. Finally taken down out over the 30-yard line. So a nice return there for Brook Hill.
Yeah, and when I was talking about the questionable special teams earlier, we haven't seen Holroyd kick a field goal in a long time. Almost probably 2 years.
Yep.
Not many opportunities last year.
No. But I, in a lot of ways, I'm okay with that. That means hopefully that you're putting the ball in the end zone.
Yeah.
1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8.
So, again, recap here.
You're good.
Lions lead by 2 touchdowns, 35-21. 4 minutes, 35 seconds left here in the game. And, again, Jarrett in the backfield with McCowan. Snap back. McCowan's looking to pass. Pass on the far side. Intended for number 3. Falls incomplete.
I'm going to tell you right now, I don't think I want to play Brook Hill later on this year. I think between the running game with Durrett and the cannon that McCowan, when he gets time to throw, is pretty good.
Yeah, they've leaned on Jarrett so much tonight, and he has been an absolute workhorse. They've not really relied on McCowan until now. I mean, they're down 2 touchdowns, and you've got 4.5 minutes left, so you're going to have to throw the ball. But he's got a strong arm, and I agree they're going to get better this season. There's a handoff to Jarrett, brings it to the near side. Big tackle, good stop there by the defensive front. The linebackers come in and finish him off. Colin Abercrombie come in and making the finishing tackle. Colin's still kind of limping off, trying to run off that cramp. Big third down play here, so loss of a couple on the play. 3rd down and 11. Ball at the 33-yard line of Brook Hill. Clock running with 4 minutes left. They don't seem to be in a big hurry to get the playoff here, Jack. They're kind of just looking at their wristbands and kind of, I don't say taking their time, but they're not in a big rush.
Before they were going no huddle, so this is a little bit different.
Yeah, that is. It's odd to see this. So 3rd down. Here's a man in motion coming from the near sideline. McCowan back to pass. Good pressure. Flushed out of the pocket. And he's hit taken down. Number 72, Tristan Dare. How about Tristan Dare in there, the freshman in there on the tackle? How about that, man? Love seeing that, man. Love seeing a freshman in there. Dare is just a huge body, man. That is a one big kid, and he's a freshman. He's got to be 6'3", 6'4". I don't know what he weighs, but he's going to be an absolute machine for the Faith Lions for the next 4 years. So timeout called. Brook Hill's down to their final timeout. 3 minutes, 25 seconds left in the game. Lions leading 35-21 here in the home opener under new head coach Bobby Holland. Yeah, the one thing, we keep talking about Clayton, Jack, but man, this has been an absolute team effort tonight. I mean, it just, so many guys contributing.
Looks so much sharper than the last game we saw out here from the squad. Different coaching staff, obviously, but a lot better.
Well, the Brook Hill Guard have made the playoffs for the last 5 years in a row, and again, they got blown out at home last year by Grapevine Faith, 61-21. But rebounded, ended up having a better season and a decent showing in district, enough to get them into the first round of the playoffs.
The best thing about that game last year was the Whataburger we shared afterwards.
Yes. There's McCown.
Oh, my God. I saw that
ball
a mile away.
Ball is down on the ground. Oh, they're going to call it a forward pass. Clayton Sebecki was on the hunt. I mean, he had McCowan absolutely zeroed in. And that's going to turn over on downs anyway. So Becky's going to take it. Thought they were through a penalty flag. They were throwing the ball over the sideline. Good grief, what happened now?
Is what they called there.
What's that?
Steve, they called an incomplete pass.
They called it incomplete pass. They said his arm was in forward motion. So, well, that should do it, Jack. 3 minutes, 19 seconds left. The Brook Hill Guard have one timeout left. Matthew Rotella Kirschbaum in the backfield now is a running back next to Sebecki.
Just hand it off to him. Don't even get Sebecki mixed in with that stuff. I bet Clayton's going to keep this anyways.
Nope. There's a handoff to
Make a move.
He's spinning. Good run there by Rotella Kirschbaum. And, gain of about 6 on the play. So 2nd down and 4. Clock continues to run. They put the ball on the ground, so Brook Hill seems content not to use their last timeout. Second down now and 4. Ball spot at the 29-yard line. Clock running with 2:45 left. Grapevine Faith leading by 2 touchdowns.
You got 10.
Snap back to Sebecki. He's going to keep it.
Just go down.
Quarterback
just
keeper.
Go down. Please just go down.
Yeah, we don't want him injured. That's enough for a first down. Stays in bounds, and that's enough for a first down. So good run there by Clayton Sebecki.
Stayed in bounds. Clock should continue to run as soon as I get that thing set.
Knox, can you hear me?
You want to load again?
You can, yes or no?
Run it that time. I agree.
You can hear me, yes?
Yes, he's nodding his head.
Okay. What I want you to try to do is get Clayton Sebecki after the game to try to interview him. After everybody breaks and they head toward the locker room, I want you to try to grab Clayton. Let's do an interview with him.
Go.
Is that good? Yes?
Hold on to the ball.
Oh, gosh. Fumble.
You get it back?
I think he got it back.
All right. Sorry, Jack. I was trying to get a hold of your son and thought you might take the reins, but just left me hanging. So.
Oh, sorry.
I'm kidding.
I was watching the game here. Steve, having a good time.
You are. Jack's got his stat book out. Clock continues to run. 1 minute, 43 seconds now left in the game.
Okay. Alford's still in.
So bring in Walker Little, the freshman. Oh, he comes back out. So here comes Michael Alford going back in. Looks like they're trying to get some other personnel in the game. Just under a minute and a half here. Michael Alford in the backfield with Sebecki.
24.
Snap back to Sebecki on the quarterback keeper. Cuts up the middle. He's going to take it into the end zone for a touchdown.
Almost fell down.
Boy, if that's not an exclamation point on his night, Jack, I don't know what is. I'm with you. I'm kind of thinking, man, hand it off to one of the big backs and let them kind of bully it up front. But, man, Sebeki just absolutely 5 touchdowns. We're hearing 5 touchdowns from
5 touchdowns,
Coach
yes,
Music.
that's correct.
41-21.
5 touchdowns and 1 passing. So, basically, he was involved in every touchdown.
Yeah. Why don't you go have a game next time, Clayton Sebeki? Help your team out. Crying out loud. You can't do it all. Man, what a game. Clayton Sebeki. Got to be proud. The 150 Sebeki family members that are listening and watching tonight, you guys have a lot to be proud of that young man. Great leader. He's kind of a quiet kid. He's not, he's emotional. He's super competitive. But, man, he keeps it in check, and he's just a leads from the front. Kick by Holroyd is good, so it makes the score 42-21. Yeah, Sebeki's looks like he's pretty tired. So game time next week in Houston. Find my papers here, Jack. I think it's scheduled for 7 p.m. Let me look.
That's correct. I did look at that this morning.
Yep, 7 o'clock at the Woodlands Christian. Our broadcast will go on the air probably around 6:30 next week. We'll hear from Coach Holland and from the opposing coach. I talked to him last year, and his name escapes me for the Woodlands Christian, but a really, really incredible testimony.
Oh, he talked to you.
What's that?
He talked to you.
Yeah, I talked to the coach.
Huh.
Yeah, had one coach that wouldn't, but the Woodlands Christian coach did. And, and again, I apologize. I can't remember the name off the top of my head, but just an amazing man and a great testimony. Lost his daughter to a drunk driver, his youngest daughter, and they've set up a foundation.
I recall this from last year.
Really, really, really amazing family.
Yeah.
So the kickoff team coming out. 1 minute, 8 seconds left here. It's pretty much elementary at this point. Hoping nobody gets injured and keep the ball in front of you.
Mm-hmm.
Folks, really appreciate you listening to us and supporting the Grapevine Faith Sports Network here. We're excited to be bringing the action on video again this year, streaming here on the Grapevine Faith YouTube channel, and continue to bring the broadcast on Mixler. Stick around after the game here. We're hoping to catch an interview with Clayton Sebeki, and maybe we can get some time with him. Holroyd's kick all the way back to the 1 yard line. Kind of stopped to the corner. Big hit.
Whoa.
Big hit there. I don't know who had that hit on it, but man alive. That was Jake Ford, I think. Kind of upended.
I'll say this much. We haven't seen any field goal kicking from Holroyd, but his kickoffs have been strong, his extra points have been strong.
His leg has gotten stronger this year without question. I don't know what his max was last year. I'm going to say maybe in the neighborhood of 40, maybe 45. He's well past that this year. And like you said, the kickoffs, Jack, have been great. That's such a valuable tool to have on your team, having a kid that can kick the ball deep. So the ball spotted out at the 20-yard line after that return. 1 minute, 4 seconds left here. They've got Watley in the backfield with McCowan. He's a freshman, that running back. He put a licking on the JV team last night. Although the Lions held on to win that game. So pass complete, little kind of in route there, complete. Tackle made by Jake Ford.
It's going to shock you, but Durrett's outside now.
Oh.
He's catching balls over there as well.
Man. Well, he's kind of like Richards. They're kind of using him all over the field. Oh, sorry, Coach. Oh, man, sorry. Coach Music's over here trying to clean up, and I've got all my stuff in his way. There's a little screen pass here to Watley. Finds a couple of blockers out front. Still on his feet. Escapes a tackle. Brings it to the near side. He's got speed.
They missed the hold back
there. There's a flag down on the play.
Yeah, that was a hold.
Yep. Knocked out of bounds. Matthew Rotella Kirschbaum with the big hit out of bounds. But that play is going to come back after a hold. Yeah, good showing tonight.
Holding.
That offensive line, Austin Bowling, Hayden Jobe, Trevor Williams, Ryan Purdue, Max Martin, Michael Alford, man, have all really done a great job of blocking for Sebeki and giving him time to pass on the pass plays and open him some holes up on the run plays.
Derek, can I come down?
Yeah, no. That was, the defense actually played a lot better than I expected. I mean, he gave up 21 points, but
well, again, Jack, a couple of those scores came as a result of some just, again, they had them stopped and they had a penalty or a turnover, costly penalties. There's a pass to the receiver here, number 2 on this side, breaks a couple tackles, gets inside of Lions territory. Tackle made by number 21, Christian Corley.
It's almost weird the way this offense is running all of a sudden for Brook Hill.
Yeah.
It's like they had the wrong game plan to begin with or something.
There's a player down. Clock stop with 9 seconds left. There's a player down on the field for Brook Hill. Another cramp, I think. We're seeing a lot of that tonight, which is expected here in this hot weather. It's just hard for these kids to stay hydrated. Training staff is earning their pay tonight for sure for both teams.
I think the kid's both his legs are cramping up.
It seems like she started to stretch his left one, and he stuck his right one up there.
Yeah.
So, that'll be a little bit longer drive back to Tyler tonight than what Brook Hill wanted. The defensive line and offensive line are out there talking and exchanging pleasantries, a couple of fist bumps. So that's good to see.
These early season games, especially when you come 2.5 hours or 2 hours from Tyler. Next week we got to go down to Woodlands. Out of district games. I mean, it's a lot of work to get to these games, and you really want to come away with a win if you're going on the road, especially.
Yeah, talked about that with both coaches. That even though this was a non-district game, you want to win that first that season opener. Kind of gives you a launching pad for the rest of the season. So 9 seconds left here. They're going to start the clock. They're probably not even going to snap the ball, Jack. Looks like it's just the clock's going to run out. Thanks, Coach. Coach Musig, appreciate his time tonight. Yep, that's going to do it. Both teams are going to line up. And, final score tonight, Grapevine Faith Lions 42, Brook Hill Guard 21. That made it interesting there, Jack, for a little bit. I'm going to be honest with you. That third quarter had me a little nervous.
Yeah. It looks like we kind of, when you get out to a lead like they were, 28-7 at that point, you kind of rest a little bit. We made a mistake, I believe, the first drive. Well, actually, they fumbled their first drive, but they drove that down all the way down to our 10-yard line before they turned it over.
Right.
And then we had to punt that ball away after 3 plays, so not much time, and they got it right back, and they scored, make it 28-14. A lot of time was left on the clock at that point. 6:52 was left in the third quarter. So you're looking up 2 touchdowns. Pretty much had dominated up until that point. You were up 28-7 at halftime, and the 7 was really just kind of a mistake. So, even as the third quarter continued, there's still a little bit of mistakes made. Brook Hill went on a very long drive to end up scoring to make it 28-21. A couple fumbles, in that quarter by Faith really kind of lit Brook Hill back in the game. So I think Steve is trying to arrange for our sideline reporter, trying to get our sideline reporter to talk to Clayton Sobecki. What a night he had tonight. 6 touchdowns he contributed to, 5 rushing, 1 passing. Man, what a great ball game.
Yeah, again, I know Coach Holland never wavered this week on his intensity, and I don't think he ever had a doubt that they were going to win this game. But I'll be honest with you, Jack, I really thought this was going to be an offensive shootout. I figured Brook Hill would they put 21 on the board, so you don't take anything away from them. But I thought it was going to be, 48-42, 48-43, something like that.
Yeah, I thought this is pretty much a pretty solid start to the year, season. Coach Holland's coaching career. I mean, that was a pretty good game. A little bit shocking. Not that I'm not saying it rudely. I just think that, you got a new coach, first game of the year, a lot of young people playing tonight, but they played really well.
Yeah, we had a lot of Tristan Dare in on a couple of tackles. He played on the defensive side of the ball. Jace Walker got in. He had a kickoff return. He was in on defense. He's playing on the kickoff coverage team. Van Shoemaker in the game. So you had a lot of freshmen, a lot of younger players in the game tonight, which you love to see. So there's a lot of freshmen in this freshman class. So it was good to see them out getting in the mix and making some plays.
Well, they're saying a little prayer over there, but we're going to try to get Knox Horton over there to get to Clayton Sobecki tonight, see if we get something done.
Yeah, the one thing we didn't mention for the broadcast, Jacker hasn't mentioned, we haven't mentioned at all, is the loss of McConnell Gorman.
Yeah.
He had a knee injury. He is done for the season. So big receiver for them, and then a big player in the secondary. But they've lost him for the season, unfortunately. So having to make that up elsewhere. Folks, hang in there with us. I realize it's getting late here, but, man, we had a chance to talk to the absolute star of the game, Clayton Sobecki, if we can. We're going to try to grab him. I know he's going to be ready to get off that field and probably get something to eat and get home. But Matt and Regina, proud parents tonight. Their son with 5 touchdowns. Impressive offensive showing by the Lions. And, again, total team effort. Clayton definitely was the star of the night. But, again, team effort all the way around. Help from everybody on both sides of the ball. Jack, you're going to have to, if you go down and play golf next week, you're going to have to give us a heads up on what the course conditions are like.
Well, I just need to know where the first tee is and what the course record is at all times.
What is that course record? All right, so we're going to try to see if we can catch Clayton Sobecki here. Again, reminder, next week we'll be at the Woodlands Christian Academy in the Woodlands. Game time is 7 p.m. Expect us to go on air around 6:30. Jack is heading down the field to see if he can help wrangle Sobecki as well. But a great opening game here, home opener for the Grapevine Faith Lions under new head coach Bobby Holland. Appreciate you catching us tonight here on the Grapevine Faith Sports Network. We'll continue to stream all games on the Grapevine Faith YouTube channel, and then also have the audio-only portion on Mixlr. So if you're driving, I want you to be safe and not try to watch the broadcast, but you can turn on the Mixlr app, which is free to download, and the broadcasts are free to hear the audio portion. And we'll try to bring you every piece of action, assuming that we don't lose our huddle camera. And we'll try to clean up the coaches' interviews so that you're not having to watch Coach Holland upside down. My apologies for that. I have absolutely no idea why and how that happened. But anyway. Oh, the other thing we forgot to mention, Jack's gone downstairs, so he's not here, but today is Coach Bobby Holland's birthday. So this is one heck of a birthday present. I think if given the opportunity, he would take this all day long as a birthday present here. So we're going to stand by 1 second, folks. We're going to see if we can't get a hold of Knox. Jack Wharton taking over duties here. We got all right. We've got Corbin Irwin with Jack down there. Jack, take it to you.
Yeah, I've got Corbin Irwin. What a great game Corbin had. Corbin, tell me about your first varsity ball game.
Good. There's a big difference in the physicality and how tough you got to be. I did my best.
Okay, hey Corbin, walk with me just a second. We got to get closer to the sidelines. We're not quite as technically advanced as we are. Are we good, Steve? Okay, Corbin, tell me about your first varsity football game.
It was really good. You know, we fought to the end. We fought to the end. It was really physical. It's a big difference at the next level. I did my best, and I'm trying to stay hungry next week.
How's the knee injury?
It's good. It's been bugging me for a few weeks, and it got rattled.
Yeah, we got Knox Horton down here earlier. He was telling us about that knee injury that's been bothering you for a while. Well, nice game, Corbin. Nice game. Okay, we're there. Can you go ahead and tell me that you can hear me okay?
We got you, Jack. Yep, Jack's going to try to find I'm going to turn his mic off for a second. He's going to try to find another candidate to interview. He's got his eyes set on Clayton Sobecki. We're going to have to get a little bit closer to the sideline because our receiver's not quite that strong. But hang in there with us, folks. We're about to have it. Hope we can catch Clayton Sobecki coming off the field. Appreciate Corbin's time tonight. Yeah, again, strong showing by the Grapevine Faith Lions. Good crowd out here tonight. And Jack, if you can get Coach Holland, that works too. Today's his birthday, by the way. We'll see if we can get Coach Holland on the mic, or maybe Clayton Sebecki. So hang in there with us, folks. Again, final score tonight, 42-21. Your Grapevine Faith Lions over the Brook Hill Guard in their season and home opener this year. Again, great contributions from younger players as well as some older players. Here comes Clayton Sebecki. So it looks like Jack's going to wrangle in Clayton Sebecki. He's got man, what a game he had, Jack. Take it away.
Hey, all right, I'm down here with Clayton Sebecki. I think the huddle camera can see us. But, Clayton, what did you do tonight? Can you just tell us anything you did tonight? Because I didn't really notice you on the field tonight.
You know, me and the whole team, we tried our best. But in all seriousness, the game plan was there. I mean, defense would spread out. They double-team Ben, left wide open running lanes. I mean, they over-pursued. Cutbacks were there, and the O-line did an amazing job tonight.
All kidding aside, he had 6 touchdowns or 5 touchdowns rushing, 1 passing. What did you see from them in the third quarter that maybe changed y'all's game plan at all?
I feel like it was kind of on us, a little bit of mistakes here and there, and we kind of – I feel like we started to rally, kind of one of those calls didn't go our way. We kind of got our head down. Got ourselves going.
Well, that's a pretty good start to the season. What do you guys think you're going to do next week? What's your game plan to get next week against Woodlands Christian?
You know, find out on Monday, but just and we should get it done. So,
Steve, anything else for Clayton, or can I let him go?
Tell that kid to go get something to eat and get in bed. That kid has got to be exhausted.
Yeah, we're gonna let you go to bed and go get something to eat. Good to see you, Clayton. Nice job.
Well, appreciate Jack catching Clayton Sebecki. Hopefully his family is still listening, and man, they've got to be awful proud of that young man. What an amazing game! 6 touchdowns he contributed tonight, 5 on the ground, 1 passing. Jack, any other final thoughts before we sign off? Oh, hang on, Jack. I'm not getting you. Jack, you there?
You got me, Steve?
Now I got you. Go ahead.
Well, I just think overall it was a pretty straightforward game tonight. Pretty clean. Couple mistakes in the second half. Couple fumbles lost. Overall, if we had kicked a field goal, we'd at least know a little bit about that. We had 1 punt, and that was actually with Wagner. So, every week you build, so they built something for next week, put the little base underneath there, and take it to Woodlands Christian next week.
Hey, Jack, before we sign off, there's Josh Holroyd over back behind you. He's about the 40. He's about midfield. He's at the 45-yard line. Let's try to grab him, man. That kid doesn't get any love. Let's talk to the kicker tonight. He had a good game.
Am I going the right direction?
Yeah, number 3 right there. He's hugging his mom.
Oh, yeah.
Jack with Josh Holroyd here.
Last interview. Josh, hey, what's up, buddy? Good game. Tell us a little bit about what you've been doing this summer. It looks like you got a stronger leg. You've been working on that?
Oh, yes, sir. I kick with Scott Blanton like every Sunday, or Sunday and Saturday. And kickoffs last year. Last year I didn't kick kickoffs very well. So, yeah, I've been working on that.
It's funny because I work out with Coach Blinn, too. I really can kick it far now as a 53-year-old man as well. I thought we had made comments about your extra points, too. They were really drilled straight through. You've been working on those as well?
Yes, sir. I work with them on special points or special.
At any point during this game, did you tell Coach Holland, I want to kick on 3rd down?
I mean, I would if I wanted to, if he needed me to. Yeah.
Okay, good. Josh, good game. Thanks a lot. Kickoffs were great. Extra points were great. Okay. Anything else, Steve?
I can't think of anything, Jack. Boy, you earned some extra tips tonight from your fans.
Yeah.
I appreciate it.
Okay. Not getting used to the sideline reporting. I think talking to players right after the game is a little intimidating. So, okay. Well, signing off from down here on the field.
Well, appreciate it, Jack.
We'll see you next week.
Yep, next week from the Woodlands Christian Academy. Appreciate your time on the field down there. So, again, your final tonight from Grapevine Ford Field here in Grapevine. 42-21, the Grapevine Faith Lions over the Brook Hill Guard. For all of the folks who have been to help with this one, For Jack Wharton, this is Steve Anthony saying so long. And again, appreciate you listening in tonight on the Grapevine Faith Sports Network.